Oh, you know what I love?
Sports.
Love sports.
Sports. When
It comes to Texas A&M.
Where are you getting this information?
Let me tell you.
Welcome to TexAgs.
It's here. It's time. There's always a buzz in the air when you hit this moment.
He is a guy that has gotten better and better and better. He's just got that dog in him.
We will develop men. We will graduate players, and we will win championships on the field.
I think of him as this hawk. Before long, he's going to be swooping in on those quarterbacks.
Coach Elko's my guy, right? Like, I love him. I love Michael Early. Like, I think Bucky's going to be incredible.
It's football, man. And that's what Warriors do. They don't want to sit out.
And this is a real program. It's not fake. This is a real place. And if you want to be really good at football, this is a really good place to be.
You know, if I'm betting on anybody, it's the Aggies.
Moss.
Yeah.
That was the vibe yesterday.
You got to love Le'Veon Moss.
I do. Actually, real love. I literally love him.
I asked him a question yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and he gave one of the best. Of course, he always gives good answers. He doesn't talk a lot, but if you really listen,
yes,
he'll give you something amazing.
You know who was like that?
Who's that?
Andre Johnson. Andre Johnson would say 2 or 3 words, and people were like, he's not a good interview. I go, no, you just got to hear what he's saying.
Yeah. And I was asking, and in fact, this is a question for you and anybody else. Would you like to see Le'Veon Moss run out of bounds sometimes instead of risking, had he run out of bounds at the end of that 20-yard game against South Carolina? He's not hurt. And maybe the Aggies win another game or two.
Well, no, I want a running back who wants to put pain on his opponent. That's what I want from her. Now, a quarterback, I might want him to, look, nobody wants injuries, right? But I'm saying football is a gladiator sport.
Franco Harris made the Hall of Fame, and he was famous for running out of bounds instead of saving his body. Not if you're on the sideline. So I was just asking, would you do that? And did you see his, no. He says, I'm a man. Running out of bounds is like running away from a fight.
Yeah. I want my running back to be that way.
I love the attitude.
Yeah. Now, every once in a while, you can avoid the fight. You don't have to be David Nuño and fight all the people from Texas. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, you wouldn't run out of bounds, would you?
I'd probably run out of bounds quickly. Like, no! No!
But whereas it's probably would be beneficial to sometimes take the step out of bounds, just especially at the end of a 20-yard game,
mm-hmm.
I would hope that attitude permeates throughout this entire team.
Yeah. No, look.
Except for
I want my people to be
Marcel.
safe. I recognize sometimes you've got to, it's a risk versus reward situation. That seemed like a routine football play. Now, I'm not saying, who was it that was on the show yesterday that said they thought it was a dirty hit? To me, that's just football. Jamie McCoy. And I probably have to go back and look at it again a fifth time. But I want a running back who is going to fight for every inch. Okay, when you're an 11-1 team, a 12-0 team, maybe it's okay every once in a while to protect yourself. A&M is fighting to do something they haven't done in a long time.
Except they were a 7-1 team.
Well, at the time they were. Yeah, good point. But it doesn't matter until the end, right?
I'm not saying that he should have stepped out of bounds. I'm saying had he stepped out of bounds, he wouldn't have gotten hurt, and maybe you win that game. Yeah, because there were some 4th and 1s that he would have gotten the ball. And maybe you beat Auburn and some others.
But you like the attitude.
But I love it. That's what I want. And with the exception of Marcel, that's what I want the attitude everybody on the team to have.
Just so somebody doesn't send this awful announcing or one of those people, I never want anybody hurt. But the fact that he got hurt means he's here this year to do something special.
No, that's true, because he did say, hey, and I haven't gotten hurt, and I've been in the NFL. And he would be in the NFL. Yeah. And he'll be in the NFL this time next year.
So now you have a veteran team with an elite running back and a room of dudes.
Hopefully everybody has the same
everything is
attitude.
Or. Le'Veon or Ruben Owens. Amari or Jamaria Morrow or. A lot of ors on there. I like the or.
Yeah, it's like they're...
Can't make up my mind who's going to be the guy today. Or.
Yeah. I like that when I believe it's really legitimate.
I think it's legitimate with those guys, right?
I can see you say Le'Veon or Ruben, but I would think Le'Veon's your guy. Your starter. But
that's why he was listed first, right? Or sometimes we're going to give Ruben the bulk of the carries. Like maybe this weekend against UTSA. I think we talked about this the other day. I wouldn't be surprised if Le'Veon gets 10 carries and maybe Ruben a little bit more.
Look, in today's college football, a lot of outstanding running backs that they have at least two guys that share the load. Look at Penn State. Didn't Penn State have 2,000-yard rushers last year?
That sounds right. Yeah.
So
they have a deep running.
They also played a couple more games than everyone else.
I'm aware.
That is true.
I'm aware.
Well, no, because last time we brought up that point, Billy got on us about.
Yeah, well, it was
played
about the 4,000-yard passer. I think it was that
Yeah.
we talked about.
So that passer probably threw for in 13 games, probably threw for 3,400.
ABR or Bussy is that third wide receiver, right?
Well, we've been hearing all really off season about Ashton Bethel Roman.
Yeah.
And he's turning heads and impressing people. So that didn't really surprise me.
Didn't surprise me at all. Theo, Berkature, or Nyblack.
Yeah, I can believe that's an or.
Depending on the situation, right?
Depending on the opponent, how you want, how they always script the first 10 plays or so. Well, depending on those plays that you're going to script for that opponent, who's best in these type of plays?
Yeah,
sure.
So, did they do a depth chart last year at this time? I'm sure they did.
Everybody does a depth chart. It's just except Jimbo. Remember he stopped doing
it?
Yeah. But they don't mean as much as they used to. I think that's kind of sad, actually, because I was talking with Broninger earlier, and who really cares and wants to go over that depth chart? It's your fans.
Yeah.
They want to know what's going on with the team, and they're the ones that, again, hey, fan, I want you to pay this for your tickets, and I want you to give this donation so you can get the tickets. And I want you to buy the tickets to these other sports so you can get that. And by the way, I want you to buy the gear. And hey, can you give us a donation for NIL?
Yeah. But I know like Nick Saban and Bill Belichick. They're like, look, I'm here. You're going to buy merchandise when I win.
And it's true. But that's not what I was saying. Is not limited to anybody. That's all of college football. I think the fans that really care and want to know and really keep up with everything about the program, if there really is an or, okay, but sometimes it looks like participation trophies.
Did you see the unscientific poll on the internet about who is Aggie's favorite NFL player right now?
Aggie, the favorite Aggie NFL player?
Yeah, right now. Not an Aggie, but an NFL player, not an Aggie. That's their favorite player. I don't think I described that well.
Just no, I didn't.
It's C.J. Stroud.
Okay.
Do you see why?
Yeah, because a lot of Aggies are from Houston, and therefore they're going to like the Texans, and he's the quarterback of the Texans. Yes, makes perfect sense.
Well, he says this is what he said on Yahoo with Andrew Siciliano, and the way Bronny was saying Siciliano yesterday was Siciliano. Oh no! But anyway, was that?
He was trying to be like McAfee.
Oh, that's his role model. I forgot. Oh, I'm accepting all the smoke from the Longhorn fans. But yeah, here in Houston, it's more Aggieland. I've got a lot of Aggies surrounding me.
Well,
and I know some people were pointing out he wore a Mariners hat the other day to a Texans press conference. But he's got A&M on his side this weekend.
Yeah, maybe he thought that the M stood for something more mechanical. Isn't it agricultural and mechanical?
Yeah. Hey, this is TexAgs Live.
This is TexAgs Live.
We're not the B team.
No.
We are the AARP team.
That's at least one of us. That's for sure.
I'm about to be there, buddy.
I might be the MVP.
That starts when you're 50, right?
50 or 55.
Okay, I got
probably
that.
50. I can't remember when I started. I've been getting emails from them for so long, I can't remember when they started.
I got, I think, a letter in the mail when I turned 40. I was like, this is disrespectful. Do not send this crap to me.
Life begins at 40.
Yeah, I believe that.
So that's what they
Anyway, TexAgs Live, not the B team. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We're in the Rollo Insurance Studio. It is the Go Hour, presented by
The Warehouse at CC Creations.
I got to test you like I test the intern sometimes, And we are currently hanging out in the holistic planning
cool zone
because it's so cool to be here.
Yeah, it is cool. It's cool to make money and
make money,
save money, and have money.
If you want to be a part of the conversation, you know what you can do? Tell them, OB.
Well, you can call us on the Bubby's Catering and Bartending Hotline. You can also text us.
Yeah.
The number is 979-693-1150.
Rumor has it, Buppy's Catering and Bartending will be bringing their catering portion of the.
Really?
I don't think they're bringing the bartending portion.
Well, they can do that too.
To the studio tomorrow.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, I remember when they used to cater the old coaches' luncheons back when they had those things. And I looked forward to it every week. Back then it was on Tuesdays. Every Tuesday I looked forward to it.
And somebody, I believe it was CatAg on the TexAgs chat, says, these guys don't take calls anymore. We'll take calls. You can call us on that Buppy's Catering hotline.
Yeah, at 979-693-1150.
OB loves talking to the people.
I do.
He does, actually.
Let's go. A man of the people.
Well, a man of some people. Let's go around the room. Say hi to the people. The people, including Nick Savage. Nick, good morning, buddy.
Howdy, good morning, y'all.
Hello.
Hello. Also want to point out, David, super chats are on YouTube. If you got,
we're doing a super chat on the show.
Something, why not? If you got something that you just you need David to read it, like you need air to breathe. Maybe drop in a super chat at TexAgs.com. Obviously, that's our premium chat for our subscribers. We'll always read those. But if you're watching on YouTube, maybe you want to premium chat it in. Go for it. We're not going to stop you.
We're taking advantage of the social media era, right? We're just going to find different ways.
It's not just a chat.
Hey, it's a super chat. Where's a cape?
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to rip open his shirt.
Okay.
But before he reads one.
So, and is the rule, I don't make the rules, I'm just following the rules of the internet. If a super chat comes in, do we read it immediately or we'll set a little time?
Try to get to it as quick as we can. Yeah, of course.
Like somewhere in the studio, and when we have a super chat, we hit the alarm and we have to read it.
Okay.
Everyone goes crazy. There's sirens.
Is there a minimum on the super chat?
I think $1. I don't know.
Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a super chat.
Do that again. But look at the camera and do it.
Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a super chat.
There you go.
Because that's what
that's Superman.
Superman. Yeah, well, you would know that, of course. But not ever.
I'm more, on the other
Batman,
team.
Yeah,
I'm a Batman guy. Let's go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Luke Evangelist has told the interns, you'll never get on the air. I'm taking this position. It's mine now. Hello, Luke.
Hello, David. How are you?
Actually, I'm doing quite well.
Good. I would say I'm in a great mood, too. You mentioned everyone's favorite non-Aggie in the NFL. How about everyone's favorite Aggie in the NFL? Over the last week, Ja'Day Walker making the Bears' 53-man roster. There are a lot of A&M players. Obviously, we've got the defensive linemen who were drafted high. You know Nick Scorton's going to make the roster. You don't have to worry about the Shamars. But Ja'Day Walker was one of A&M's players that was signed as an undrafted free agent that there were a lot of eyes on. And thankfully, we have Matthew Dawson to watch those Bears games because unless Ja'Day Walker's playing, I'm not watching any Bears games. But he was keeping us updated.
I think he told us early on he thought he might make it, right?
As Ja'Day kept playing in the preseason, he ended up racking up 98 yards in 3 games, and he had 2 touchdowns. But the big one was the walk-off winner against the Chiefs last week that really pushed him over the edge to make that initial 53-man roster. They ended up cutting a former 4th-round pick at receiver to keep Ja'Day, so that should show you how valuable the Bears find him to cut somebody that they actually drafted the year before. But what a story for All Day going from Grand Valley State to the NFL.
What does it say about me that my favorite and most memorable Ja'Day Walker play was a penalty?
Was it the crack?
Well, he just knocked the absolute crap out of that guy from LSU. And they, on what should a touchdown, they said, targeting, you're out of here. But man, what a hit. And then, of course, they scored anyway.
Tell me, Luke, if the social media would go crazy to watch OB do the Ja'Day Walker touchdown celebration.
Yeah, OB would need a hip replacement surgery after 1 second of that.
Oh, he's lying again.
You can last at least 3 seconds.
At least.
Pause. OB, you can't just say I'm lying as a defense for everything. That's not how that works.
Hey, unfortunately, we had.
It's only when you are.
We had some unfortunate news for Aggies that didn't make a roster yesterday as well.
Yes, Anais Smith was one of the casualties. He was cut by the Eagles. DeMarvin Leal was also cut by the Steelers.
And Kenyon Green, right?
Yeah, that was a couple days ago. They did cut Kenyon Green as well.
He's had health issues.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Anais lands somewhere.
Yeah, Eagles fans were pretty surprised they ended up cutting him because of how versatile he could be on special teams.
Well, and look, the USFL, is that what it's called? UFL, excuse me. The XFL became the UFL. They do provide an outlet for these guys. Leon O'Neal had a very nice season for Houston, which I don't think Sternberger's had many nice years.
Has been a prolific player in that league, yeah.
And because of a season he had a couple years ago, he got another call to the NFL too. Yep. So you will get some calls to the NFL. OB, this is the point of the show, in the next segment at least. We're going to talk about some games that we want to watch. We're going to do that on the other side. But can I tell you who's on the show today?
Tell me.
We got Randy McCown on the show.
Good old East Texas guy.
Yeah. We've got Max Wright.
I covered Randy when he was in high school.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We put him on the cover of our Tyler Moore and Telegraph preseason football edition and everything.
So in my research today, I was telling you guys, I learned that Jeff Traylor was a coach in the mid-'90s with Jacksonville High School.
I was not aware of that.
So,
I did not know Danny Long's staff.
Yeah.
So I just knew that Danny Long was the head coach.
So we'll talk to him about his nephew, Owen McCown, who is the quarterback at UTSA. So we have him. We've got Max Wright on the program, starting his weekly hits.
Good dude.
Mustache brother.
What's that?
The mustache bro.
Yeah, well, no, he's
You're like the mini me to Max Wright.
I'll take that.
You're Max Wrong.
Guy.
You're Max Wrong.
No.
Vern Troyer evangelist.
Max Wrong is pretty funny.
Wrong.
Yeah,
I'll
Max
give
Wrong
you
is
that.
good. We also have Jamie Morrison in the studio, fresh off a big victory.
Man, what a coach.
Jason Howell makes the show.
What a beard.
Quality beard.
Quality
human.
Oh, yeah, he's a great guy.
Peter Burns on the show.
Okay.
Quality broadcaster.
He's a good broadcaster. He's a good guy.
Yeah, so we'll have all those on the show.
For he's kind of an LSU guy.
There's no kind of.
Yeah.
I think he's a UTSA guy / LSU guy.
Yeah.
Didn't he go to UTSA?
I think so. Or he went there for a while. Or he has some kind of ties to San Antonio.
I'm pretty sure he's a UTSA guy, or I made that up.
He attended UTSA and St. Mary's.
Didn't he want to play golf there?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Okay. But he loves LSU.
Bio.
They call us Wikipedia. That's what they call the show. Except when we don't know stuff. Sorry. Let's take Peter Burns to eat.
He's from Baton Rouge.
Okay. Let's take him to eat.
All right. Yeah. If you were going to take him to eat, where would you take him?
I would take him to 1775.
1775.
I mean, seriously, that's where I go. If it's a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, right?
Yeah, I'm going to go there tomorrow.
With a friend of ours?
I Doc Mike. Yeah. And probably Mrs. Buchanan as well.
Okay.
And plan to go there because it's been a while, and I need that infusion of succulent brisket.
Comida.
And that jalapeno cheese sausage and those pork ribs. I love it. That's my favorite thing about a pig is the pork ribs at 1775. I probably won't get the turkey, but you know what I will get?
The queso mac and cheese.
The queso mac and cheese.
People ask me like, "Hey man, is it really that good?" Or are you just saying, "No, it's really that freaking good, man."
It is.
And woman.
Yeah, I wouldn't lie to you.
Yeah, I think you would.
No, I wouldn't lie to you. Luke would, but I wouldn't. I will not lie to you. If we're talking about food, I'm going to tell you if I don't like it, I won't say I like it. If I really like it, I'm going to tell you I love it.
1775 TXBBQ.com is the place to go. 979-492-6241. It is 1775.
It's good.
Hey everyone, David Nuño and Olin Buchanan and OB. Typically, we start off the show in this section, and we call it the Holistic Planning
The cool zone. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
What do we know about holistic planning?
Well, a lot of cool stuff. For instance, holistic planning can help you with your investments.
I love that.
They can help you with your taxes. So
I don't like paying taxes.
You can get that money from your investments and they keep it. They'll help you keep it away from the government.
Yep.
Not all of it, but more of it. And then they'll even help you with your estate planning. When you're old like me, you got to make sure some of that money you made is there for when you want to retire and just enjoy the rest of your life.
You want your estate to be planned. But they also do something else.
Yeah, well, if you are like, say, a sports fan and you've always wanted to...
Everybody watching us, right?
Yeah. And you want to always dream of being an owner, well, in a certain way you can because they will broker the deal for you to invest in pro sports.
Yeah, what you need to do is check out investinprosports.com. That's where you can get all the information if you want to invest in a team. I don't know what team. He'd probably try to buy the Cowboys. I'd try to buy a lot of the Houston teams. Whatever it may be, investinprosports.com. It is holistic planning, and we love hanging out at the Holistic Planning Cool Zone. And we are back. TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. The Go Hour, presented by the Warehouse at CC Creations. What's going on, Olin?
Oh, my one of these cables came unplugged.
Buddy, we have royalty in the studio.
Yes, we
with
do.
Us. You want to do the honors?
Yeah, probably the nicest guy I know. He's even exceeded Logan Lee.
Yeah, which is hard,
which is difficult to do, and probably I'm going to say the second most popular guy in College Station behind Mike Elko. If there's a loss or two, he may be number one.
Right.
But if you ever get down to the HEB on Tower Point,
yeah,
you're looking for Mr. Charles.
Mr. Charles, always smiling, saying hi to the people,
helpful.
Yes. David, you want help? I'll take you to this aisle. Like he's just, he knows everybody, not just the TexAgs people.
Everybody knows him.
Yeah,
it seems like. So
he's
a great fan of TexAgs and the Aggies.
He goes to all the basketball games, watches the football games. So he had reached out. Well, actually, I said, hey, why don't you come hang out with us sometime? And we finally made it work. So he'll be hanging out here during the Go Hour. OB, it's the first Wednesday of the season where we get to talk about games we want to see. We kind of did it last week, but this is the official, there's some big games we want to see, OB.
There's some very interesting games in the first, well, I guess it's not the first week. It was in week one.
It's the first week for me because Aggies are playing.
Which game are you most interested in? I've got 5 of them that I'd like to.
I'm most interested in Texas and Ohio State if it's a good game.
Well, but we don't know.
We don't know. But anytime Texas is involved in the game, I'm not interested in it. But I am interested in this one. I am actually very interested in Miami Notre Dame.
I'm interested in that one too. Texas, second year in a row, they're playing the defending national champ.
Yep.
Maybe this year the defending national champ will still be good.
Is LSU Clemson Saturday night?
LSU Clemson is the same time A&M. So I'm not going to be able to watch that. I'll keep up with it, and I'll have to tape that or record it because, man, that's a heck of a matchup, and it may be the 2 highest ranked, if you can put it that way, Heisman Trophy candidates going against each other, and Clay Cubnick and Garrett
Nussmeier. Yep. So the first game you brought up on the list, Auburn and Baylor, very interesting because I think Auburn needs this way more than Baylor does. Because if they lose to Baylor to start their season, still with an SEC schedule ahead of them, those Hugh Freeze whispers are going to get super loud early.
Yeah, especially when you consider everything that's been talked about in the offseason. They made a bigger deal than it should have about him spending a lot of time playing golf. And then they talked about having who's going to call the plays. He said, well, we got a guy for first down, call play, and a guy for third down, calling play, and somebody else saying, you're like, well, what?
Right.
So there's a lot of off-season discussion about whether or not that program is dysfunctional. And if you start off, and they're supposed to be so much better with Jackson Arnold, but if you start off with a loss against what's probably a pretty good Baylor team, I know their quarterback had a lot of success last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that's an intriguing game to get a gauge on an opponent that you're going to see before too long at A&M.
LSU Clemson, we touched on it, the Heisman Trophy candidates in that one. We know what's at stake for LSU. For Clemson, you get this victory.
Oh, that's huge because, first of all, you get a win over a highly regarded SEC team, right? I mean, it's not like you're going out and beating Mississippi State.
Right.
So, that's one of those that you put in your back pocket, and unless you just collapse, you're in the playoff, right? Even if you don't win your conference championship.
But if you do win your conference championship and you beat LSU, you are a top seed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's huge for both of those teams. And LSU has lost their opener something like 5 years in a row.
That's correct, yeah.
And if they do that again, I mean, there's already starting to be a little bit of heat on Brian Kelly, and every loss is going to intensify that heat.
Yeah. It's the Texas-Ohio State game. Here's where I struggle. Odds makers have Ohio State winning, right? I think they're favored by 1.5 points, but I think all pundits have Texas winning in a landslide.
I kind of think Texas will win. I don't think it'll be a landslide. I remember the last time Texas went to Columbus. They won that one late, and then went on to win the national championship in 2005. Yeah. I think what's really going to be interesting there is watching Arch Manning against a good program, because we saw him start against Mississippi State and ULM, and then he didn't play particularly well when he played against Georgia. A lot of quarterbacks
struggle
there. Yeah. But this will be his first start against a really good program. So, and I think that's so much of the forecast on Texas being a national, number one is centered around Arch, because so much is expected from him.
Well, and here's a couple things to think about. They did such a good job covering Jeremiah Smith last year. I mean, 1 reception for 3 yards. Talking about Texas on Ohio State. Who else does Ohio State have this year that scares you? I know people are going to develop, but at least Texas brings back a big part of their defense. Not their entire defense, but a few studs on their defense.
Yeah, I mean, Ohio State has lost a lot of really productive guys, just as Texas has. So, I think Texas is going to win that game.
Okay,
but it's going to be a good game, I believe.
Notre Dame, Miami. I'm actually rooting for Notre Dame in this one because, as I've told you before, you got to play them, and I'd rather beat them as a top 10 team than not.
Right. See, that's so hard for me too, because I've rarely have I rooted for Notre Dame.
And rarely do I root against Miami unless they're playing the Aggies. Miami, yeah.
So I'll say this: it's one of those that no matter how that game comes out, I can put a silver lining. Hey, Notre Dame lost. All right, yeah, great. I don't like Notre Dame. Oh, Notre Dame won. Good. So that means that if A&M beats them, it's an even bigger victory.
Right. Yeah. I'm interested in seeing how.
Go ahead.
I was going to say CJ Carr. I just want to see what come in, because Miami's got a good defense,
and I want to see that. Of course, him, but I want to see that defense that was so good last year with about 6 or 7 guys taken off that defense. Why people are saying, oh yeah, they're just not going to miss a beat.
Shannon Dawson is the OC for Miami. I want to see what he does with Carson Beck. Was Carson Beck held back at Georgia, or was he not as
It's funny, he wasn't held back when he had Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey catching passes for him. When they were no longer there, he was held back.
He was.
Imagine that.
Yeah, but some of it could be also offensive philosophy and some of the other playmakers.
Yeah, maybe.
And
that philosophy seemed to work pretty well for him.
It did.
For a long time.
Alabama versus Florida State. Castellanos.
Well, he's talking a lot of noise about Alabama.
I don't know if I hate it or like it. I don't know. I hated it at first, but now I'm like, he's just going all in.
He really is. I think when your team won 2 games last year, I know you weren't part of that, but you might want to have more of a stealth quality in a game like that, You
don't want to,
don't want to poke the proverbial bear, even though the bear's been gone for, decades. But
I think Bama's going to run away with this one.
I kind of do too. I kind of think Mike Norvell had the 1 year, and I think he's getting exposed to being a very average coach.
Yeah. All right, let's hit a break. By the way, I forgot to mention about Mr. Charles over there. You know who works with him is our dear friend Carson Stein. Carson Stein.
Yeah, hard worker.
Hard worker. He's at the...
He'll change your tire if it's flat.
No, he'll try to change your tire if it's flat. He will try to change your tires. And then
the guy helped you out, and you're disrespectful.
He got an internship out of it. And that was the day that I made the mistake, not Carson, of trying to take your tire off when it's already up. When you're already, what was it called?
It's already jacked up.
Jacked up. There we go. Let's hit a break. We'll come back with some more. Right now, we're talking duck camp. I'm not wearing a duck camp shirt right now, but I wear it often. You got a bunch of duck camp gear.
You
had. Sorry.
The duck camp gear is so nice that college age kid like my son, who really maybe too much cares about his wardrobe.
Yep.
Came into my closet and just took it all. He just confiscated it.
That's what happens.
And I was trying to take it back, and his mother spoils him rotten, and she's guilted me into letting him keep it. So he wears it all the time.
There's a duck camp community. I was at a soccer game this weekend. That shouldn't surprise you. And one of the other dads had a duck camp hoodie on. And we kind of knew we're on the same team. Yeah. The outdoor community, cool guy community.
I wonder if that's real big in Oregon.
It might be.
Yeah.
Might
Ducks.
Be. Yeah, might be. I know it's big in SEC country because SEC country loves wearing some duck camp gear. The lightweight performance hoodie, the scout shorts, the essential hoodie, the lightweight fishing shirt. Check it out. Duckcamp.com, built for the outdoors, designed
for everything else.
And we're back. TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio, the Go Hour, presented by The Warehouse at CC Creations. OB, I was reading on CBS Sports this morning. They have their college football quarterback power ranking.
Quarterback power ranking.
I'm just going to ask you to guess who is number one. And no, it's not who you think. I don't know who you think, but I'm assuming.
I would guess Garrett Nussmeier.
No.
I think either him or Cade Klubnik.
See, you're a smart guy. Number one on the list for CBS Sports, Cade Klubnik.
Cade Klubnik, yeah.
Which means number two on the list is?
Garrett Nussmeier?
Yep.
Okay. I figured it'd be one of those two.
Now, number three, there's no chance you get it right.
Lenore Sellers?
No.
Arch?
No.
Huh.
Now it gets even harder.
I'm trying to think.
You're going to be surprised.
Aller.
Drew Aller, number three.
Yeah, not buying.
Would he be in your top 8?
No.
I didn't think so. No. Number 4 on the list.
Lenore Sellers.
Arch Manning.
Arch. Okay.
Yeah, there's such a sample size.
Lenore did so much. Of course I would.
And by the way, I'm going to have the same take here. Julian Sayin, number 5.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Until you actually show it.
Like, I think Marco Jones is going to be a beast, okay? But I can't put him
as one of the better defensive ends
until he does it in a season.
Right.
Right? Like, I think he's going to head there. Like, I think it's a disservice to number 6 to be number 6. Lenore Sellers.
Yeah. I mean,
Lenore Sellers should be top 3.
Arch might be great.
And he might end up being 1 at the end of the year.
Right. But going in, how do you watch what Lenore Sellers did last year and say this guy who started twice and did a lot of, just came in on spot duty for certain packages is better than him?
Okay, how about this? If Arch has the season Lenore's had, he'd be all world. He'd be number 1.
Well, because he would have the numbers and the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 7 on the list, Sam Levitt.
Okay, Arizona State had a good year. Let's see what he does without Scatterbo.
I would probably flip him with number 8 on the list.
Who is?
DJ Lagway. At least I've seen it for 5 games, At least I've seen it.
I think, look, I'm very high on DJ Lagway, but it's kind of the same thing we just said about Arch. I got to see more of that. And I've talked about, I've said that if you take the names off and you just put 2 resumes to get side by side, Marcel Reed had a better resume from last year than DJ Lagway.
By the way, Marcel is not on this list.
No, I know.
Number 9 on the list, John Mateer.
Okay. He was really good at Washington State. Let's see how that translates.
When you look at these stats, Mateer totaled 4,000 total yards, 44 touchdowns last year.
Mm-hmm.
And
you want to run me down those list of opponents?
Well, there's that too. Number 10 on the list, Josh Hoover.
Josh Hoover.
Yep, 4,000 yards last year with TCU, who went 9-4.
Okay. All right. Well,
there's more. Holy smokes. I thought they were going to stop it there. We'll get to you in a second, Luke. Number 11, your favorite quarterback.
My favorite quarterback.
Nico.
Seriously?
I'm not lying, bro.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Remember last year, we were saying, I just don't get the hype for him. He had a big game against Vanderbilt. Okay. And then he scored 3 rushing touchdowns on short runs in a bowl game that are meaningless. And what has he shown? Anybody, what has he shown that would tell you this is one of the 11 best quarterbacks in the country?
At least number 12 on the list has played this year.
Okay.
And has done it for a couple of years. Jalen Daniels, the quarterback at Kansas.
Yeah.
Hold on, OB. You're asking what he's done. He had 300 yards and 3 touchdowns against Chattanooga. He's a legend.
Yeah, Chattanooga. And he ran out of bounds on 4th down against Arkansas.
I'm going to keep going through this list because it's actually interesting. Number 13, who I think, based on last season, should be in the top 10.
Okay.
Diego Pavia.
Yeah.
Agree?
Yeah, but he's not Italian.
He's Mexican.
It just sounds better.
Yeah.
Diego Pavia.
All you got to do is tell me that he quarterbacked Vanderbilt to win over Alabama.
Okay.
There's nothing else you need to say.
Number 15 on the list.
15.
Can you Google? Do you have the list in front of you, by the way?
Look.
I want you to look how many games this guy played. Jaden Mavia. Mavia. At
USC.
Yeah. I don't think he played that much last year, right?
He had been good at UL.
He played the bowl game.
UNLV.
I remember
that we know.
He had been good at UNLV before transferring, and then he finally didn't he play like the last?
He started the last 4
games.
games.
Yeah. So okay, I'm not seeing him as one of the 15 best quarterbacks, especially if Marcel is not on the list.
I mean, if you break down just the last 4 games, 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns, it's legit production.
Yeah, I'll give him that. These next 2, I would have thought would have been higher on the list. Sawyer Robertson at
Baylor.
16, right?
Yeah.
Kevin Jennings at SMU, 17.
I guess they're holding that game against Penn State against him because Jennings was bad in that game. But if you look at the whole season, he was really good.
Rocco Becht at 18.
Man, after what they did last week, you would say
you got to move him up.
Especially, I'd have him at least 11.
I think OB is going to love number 19. Do you remember last year when we talked to USC, we would say this gentleman's name?
Oh, Miller Moss.
Miller Moss.
Yeah, Miller Moss.
Miller Moss. He's at Louisville now.
Louisville.
All right.
Yeah. How can you not like Miller Moss?
Yeah, how can you not like him or not know who he is, right? Everybody should know who Miller Moss is.
Do you not know who that is?
No, I do. It's a joke on OB.
Sorry. Number 20 on the list, Ty Simpson.
Who hadn't even played yet.
Yeah, but this list is already said. It doesn't matter if you played. At least Arch has played. At least DJ's played.
I guess he's played.
But has he?
Nah. I'll say this for him. He's got a heck of a receiver to throw to. And he supposedly had the outstanding
I think
line
he's going to have a
behind.
great year. But number 21 on the list. Used to play point guard for the San Antonio Spurs. His father likes to fight his brother, Avery Johnson.
That was crazy, right?
So crazy.
Has good hair. Avery Johnson has good. If his season is as good as his
hair's quality
he
hair.
may win the Heisman Trophy.
Number 22 on the list.
He's the Hairsman Trophy.
Carson Beck. I think 22 is fine for him.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
In fact, I'm telling you.
Here's the thing about Carson Beck.
Tell me.
If you put good talent around him,
he's good.
He'll take advantage of it. You're not going to win a game because of Carson Beck.
I think he's going to move up this list this year. Number 23, and maybe number 2 in your hearts, Haynes King, Georgia Tech.
Haynes King is, not in style of play, but he reminds me of Graham Mertz in that he can be really good, but it's as long as he avoids the turnovers.
Yep.
And that's the problem with Haynes. But if you can avoid the big, and he makes loud turnovers.
Yep.
If you can avoid those, then he's probably in the top 10.
Well, by the way,
he just doesn't avoid them.
I didn't realize this was a top 30 list. So Marcel will make an appearance, okay?
All right.
We'll go through these fast because I know we're up against the break. Number 24, Darian Mensah. Duke.
Okay.
Darian Mensah.
He
must be smart.
Italian.
Yeah, I mean, Tulane and Duke, he's pretty smart.
And he's Mensa.
He's very smart. Number 25, Luke Altmaier. Another Italian player for you, Luke.
Altmaier? That's German, isn't it?
I don't know the way I said it. Altmaier.
You're gonna make everything Italian.
He's the Illinois quarterback, and they're gonna have a good year.
Pretty good.
Yeah, they are. Number 25 on the list. Number 26, not a part of the Italian community, Fernando Mendoza.
I don't know where Fernando Mendoza plays.
Indiana.
Oh, that's right.
All right.
That's right.
Number 27 on the list.
27.
Still no Marcel Reed. Baron Morton, the Texas Tech quarterback.
Baron Morton. Good name.
Yep. Number 28.
28.
Patrick Mahomes' little brother, Dylan Raiola.
Still waiting on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably will be ranked a lot higher than that when it's over with.
I agree with that.
Probably at least 11.
Number 29 on the list.
Marcel Reed.
Wrong. Somebody Marcel Reed beat. Taylon Green.
Oh, yeah, Taylon Green.
I like Taylon Green.
I do.
I like Marcel Reed more, but I like Taylon Green.
Yeah, I would take Marcel Reed. And if you're in Fayetteville, you'd probably take Taylon Green.
Yeah, that's fine. And then number 30 on the list.
Must be Marcel Reed.
Marcel Reed. I'm going to read you what it says.
Read me.
Reed looks like a gem within a 2023 quarterback class that has been a mixed bag. The former four-star prospect battled to become A&M starter in 24 and poised for a breakout 2025 after completing 61% of his passes, showing immense potential as a passer, runner, leader last season.
Yeah, a lot of those I agree. The only thing I wanted, did he Was he battling to be the starter? I think they went into last year. Everybody's saying, okay, he's battling. He was battling to be the
backup.
second
Yep.
team guy.
By the way, this list never ends. We're going to stop it here.
Yeah, it probably goes for all 136.
31, 32. Like, holy smokes. They're like, they did 973 different quarterbacks.
I like, Marcel, his style of play is what I want from my quarterback.
2 quick notes before we go. Number 44 on the list.
44.
C.J. Carr, Notre Dame quarterback.
Okay.
Number 45 on the list.
45.
Just think about it. Who's somebody they may face this weekend?
That what?
They may face this weekend. Owen McCown.
Owen McCown.
Number 45 on the list. All right, we'll hit a break. Daily Company. Go ahead.
Huh? He threw for like 3,000 yards last year.
He's good.
And they're putting guys that didn't even play ahead of him.
Daily Company is a family-owned, licensed, and insured business that offers HVAC, electrical, plumbing, and generator services that's available to you 24/7. When it comes to HVAC, they'll take care of your thermostats, your refrigerant leaks, your furnace failures, and your seasonal tune-ups. On the plumbing side of things, they'll take care of leak repairs, clogged drains, water heater installation, maintenance to keep those pipes in top shape. Electrical wiring, they have that as well. They'll fix your outlets. They'll upgrade for safety and efficiency. And the generators, they'll repair them. They'll make sure they're installed to ensure preparedness for power outages. They serve College Station. They serve Bryan. They serve Houston. They serve Austin. Upfront pricing with no surprises. Contact the Daily Company, 979-260-2020. That's 979-260-2020. Or visit them at godaily.com to experience the daily difference. Let's talk a little Snaps clothing. David Nuño here, and I love wearing Snaps clothing everywhere. I've got the flannel on right now. You've seen me in the Tailgater collection with the A&M gear. It is fantastic. If you see me around town with my sons, Christian and Cruz, they've got a bunch of Snaps gear. When they have big games for Consol, they wear nice clothes, so they wear their Snap stuff. And I'm telling you, with baseball season here, let's all kind of go looking stylish and fit to the games. They're at Olsen wearing the Snaps clothing. As a reminder, they are the only official licensed Texas A&M Pearl Snaps maker out there. Their Tailgater collection is built for game day with breathable, moisture-wicking fabrics to keep you comfortable while you rep your Aggies in style. Now, whether you're watching the game from home or maybe you're in attendance, you're tailgating, whatever it may be, you got to make sure you head to snapsclothing.com to see everything they have to offer. It is fashionable, it is awesome, and you're going to love it. As a reminder, the final segment of the program is brought to you by Double Dave's. But right now, call over 12-979-693-1150. We're going to hook you up with your choice of a dozen pepperoni rolls or a large one-topping pizza from Double Dave's. They've been serving Aggieland since 1984 with your favorite pizza and of course, those world-famous pepperoni rolls. Reliable in-house delivery, bringing piping hot goodness straight to your door. Just click on doubledaves.com, and your favorites are on their way. Now, how did this come up? Somebody on the chat, not a super chat, said that they would do a super chat with me with shirtless. I'm not doing shirtless on the show.
Really? Because it sounds like that's kind of all you want to do.
Yeah, in fact, now that you mentioned it, I will. Thank you, Luke. I'm kidding.
Hey, I've got a couple. Do we have time for a couple comments from YouTube?
Luke, we always have time for the people.
Okay,
I want the people to feel that they're part of the show.
We had a couple celebrities in the chat, and they're making bold predictions or just ranging from medium to bold predictions. Derrick Henry should be in training camp at the moment, said.
Derrick Henry, a big Real Madrid fan, by the way.
Wow, I know
he
can run the ball as well.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry says, I think Sellers takes a step back. Teams are going to be more prepared for him. Bruce Wayne, I didn't know Batman.
But he spells it with 2 O's.
You do know your chatters.
I know my chatters,
David's paying attention, y'all. He says Marcel will have 380 yards against UTSA, and Brad Duncan says Pavia is going to walk into Austin and beat the Longhorns. Which one is the most bold?
The most bold is, I think, what was the first one again?
Sellers takes a step back. Teams
the most bold
prepared.
is Pavia goes to Austin and wins.
Agree. Yeah.
I think Lenore's probably does take a step back. I mean, he could have a great year. The news of Faison coming, I think, helps him quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think he might take a step back just because his defense may not be as good. So that he won't have that. Like the record may not be as good. So that'll make the way you look at Sellers maybe differently. But I think he might have a huge year.
Yep.
What was the other one?
Marcel for 380 yards.
I could see that. Sure.
Are they going to pass the ball that much, though?
No.
I don't think they need to.
Yeah.
Maybe 280 would be more reasonable, but 380.
I think 280 would be more reasonable.
227. 227.
Maybe
Two
total
touchdowns.
yards, total offense.
Yeah.
Let him run some. But I think 280 is more reasonable.
OB, I appreciate you.
Yep.
Randy McCown coming up next on TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers in the Rollo Insurance Studio. We're back here on TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. It is hour number 2 of the show. Let's go straight to the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. Randy McCown joining the show to talk about all things A&M and UTSA. Randy, good morning, buddy. How you been?
Good morning. Doing good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on the show. So just how pumped are you for the A&M football season? And I'll give you a little backdrop considering the way the season ended and all the hype entering this season.
Oh man, there's always a lot of excitement. It's especially in the climate that ball is being played in. Man, it's always changing, and so you look at it, and man, it's just always excitement. And there's new faces coming in, and so I think with what Coach Elko did last year, he's just continued to build on that, and there's a lot of positive buzz and a lot of things to look forward to going into this year. So this weekend, interesting quarterback on the other side. Your nephew, Owen McCown. What can you tell us about him as a quarterback? Well, so man, Owen is first off, he's a great kid. Josh and Natalie did a phenomenal job just raising a fine human being. Very hard worker, knows ball in and out because obviously with his dad playing so many years in the NFL, he's been around it his whole life, and so. Athletic kid, tough. I don't think we'd have let him wear the last name if he wasn't tough. And so, but he's a good player, and he's everything that you'd want your quarterback to be. And so he's just continued to get better each year. So I think he's got a lot of runway in front of him in terms of what he can do and where he can go. He's just got to take it one game at a time and see what happens. Were there signs early on when he was a kid, like, okay, this kid, he's got the quarterback genes, he's got it? Yeah. I'll tell you, it was, it always was during the summer, because we're growing up, especially when, I was kind of fresh out of college and Josh and Luke were starting their NFL careers. We did a lot of football camps probably for about, 10 years there. And so his families were growing and kids were growing, whether it was Josh's boys or my boys or Luke's boys. There was always a ball around the camps. And so everybody was always playing catch and whatnot. And you could see it early, of course, he's the only lefty out of the whole group, so that's a little bit unique. So he was always drawing attention just because he threw it different than everybody else. But then as you could see him starting to grow and to develop, he really started to come on, and so he's really done well with the opportunities that he's been given. And he's very athletic and spins it really good. Randy, I mean, I'm sure you're aware and you feel it, but like how unique your family situation is, like elite quarterbacks running the family. I mean, that's. At the high school level, at the college level, you've got pro level. Like it's a pretty cool environment, or just a family situation, if you will. Yeah, it really is. It's unique, and especially today. I know a lot of parents. Man, what'd your mom and dad do? And man, honestly, it was never the game plan, especially with us. It was just kind of, the first college football game that I ever attended was on my recruiting trip at A&M. And so it never was a deal of like, hey, let's try to do this how it turned out. And so now you got, what I was able to do, and then what Josh and Luke did their years in the NFL. And then you've got Owen, you got Aiden. That's Josh's two boys. They're playing quarterback. You got Ryan, you got Brady, which are my two sons that are playing quarterback. And then you've got Jonah, who's one of Luke's sons that's playing quarterback. So they're all playing quarterback at some level of collegiate. And so it's just kind of continued to just go on, So it's a really unique situation. But, man, it's been a huge blessing and just been a lot of fun. And we're excited. Of course, a situation like what's coming this weekend to where you just really get to sit back and really soak it all in, Is it going to be weird? I'm not asking for who you're rooting for because, family comes first. I get that. But just your alma mater, your school where you played and blood and sweat, and your nephew who you've seen kind of grow, and you want to see him play great at Kyle Field. Yeah, without a doubt. This is the second time I guess I've been in this situation because I think it might have been Luke's junior or senior year. Louisiana Tech played A&M, and I can remember being up in the zone watching it up there with some friends, and Luke makes this long run, and I jump up and just react out of happy for my brother, and of course people kind of looked at me and then they realized it was me and they kind of connected. Oh, okay, well that's okay, But yeah, it's going to be an exciting thing. I mean, I've been asked a couple of times this week, man. Everybody knows, but who you can root for? And I'm like, well, that A&M blood runs deep, but the McCown blood was there first. But I'm probably the one person in the whole stadium that's going to be I'll be a little happier for Owen, but I'll be happy either way, Right. And then they've got, the receiver for UTSA, Devin McCown. He was Ryan's best friend growing up in high school. So I've coached him since he was in Little Dribblers. And then, of course, Jeff Traylor's a close family friend. So there's a lot of connections on both sides of the ball.
All right, so I want to go a little bit deeper on that Jeff Traylor, because as I was preparing this morning, I saw that Jeff has a relationship with a family that goes back to your high school days, right? Like he was an assistant at Jacksonville?
Yes, I can remember. So Jeff, my senior year in high school, he comes in, and I want to say he was an offensive line coach. And it's crazy because at the time I thought he was old. And then looking back, I mean, gosh, he might have been I think Jeff's 8 years older than me. So, but when as an 18-year-old, you think 26 is old, And so, but have known Jeff for a long, long time, and just another phenomenal human being. Everywhere he's went, he's had success and has done well at UTSA. And I'd be lying to you if I said, I wasn't rooting for him, our last coaching search. But obviously we've got a good one in Coach Elko, and we're going to do great things there. But Jeff's done a great job everywhere he's went. And like I said, most importantly, I mean, he's a great friend and a great human being.
Similar question that I asked about Owen. Were there signs about Coach Traylor when you were younger, like, okay, this guy's got something?
Yeah, without a doubt. And that's with Jeff, he just relates to players. He obviously knows ball, but his gift is just relating to players. And to be honest with you, I think that's one of the things that has allowed him to continue to be successful, even as this NIL thing has kind of just, gotten bigger and bigger because, to me, the thing that makes college football great is the relationships with the players and coaches, and then the traditions. But as NIL continues to evolve, some of that stuff is just getting less and less significant. And so I think Jeff continues to tap into that relational side of things, and that's what makes it good at a place like UTSA that maybe doesn't have the resources that other colleges do, but they continue to compete year in and year out.
Talking to Randy McCown here on TexAgs Live. All right, so offensively, what makes him a very good coach?
Well, with Jeff, so from an offensive standpoint, I think he's willing to work with what he's got, and so I think a couple of years ago, their strength might have been a little bit more on the outside in terms of receiver talent. I think this year they still got that, but then from what I've gathered, they're stronger with a tight end presence. So I think he does a good job of just kind of seeing what he has and putting everybody in their best spot. Instead of trying to say, this is what we're going to do. He's going to work toward his strengths, and so. I think he's a phenomenal motivator, and so when you put all that together, that's just that equates to what he's done so far.
Randy, let's talk about the quarterback on the other side, Marcel Reed. Last year, he comes in a kind of a weird situation, right? Like he didn't expect to start against Florida, comes in and lights it out. He was just on fire. Then Connor comes back, looks great against Missouri, struggles against LSU, and he lights the place on fire again. What do you think about Marcel and his ability this year to know that he is the guy?
Well, from a quarterback standpoint, there's something to be said about that. I can remember, Brandon Stewart and I were always kind of going back and forth. And when you finally know that like, all right, you're the guy, man, it shouldn't, but it just builds that confidence. It just changes kind of your mindset a little bit. Not to bring on like a level of complacency or anything like that, but it's just that level of confidence. I'm like, okay, I'm the guy. It's on me now. So that translates in off-season workouts and practices. You just carry yourself differently, and then you can actually get out and lead. You don't ever have to worry about, man, well, what if I mess up, or what if I get pulled this week, or that kind of thing. You just go, and so it allows you to play free and confident. And I'm expecting that Marcel will probably be even better than he was last year because he should have just continued to grow in that, because confidence is such a huge thing at that quarterback position. And so when you've got that and when you're really rolling, that's when you're at your best. And so I 1,000,000% think he's going to be even better than he was last year, and he's just going to continue to build on that.
Randy, take us inside a quarterback room. Like, because people think yes, it's competitive, when you and Brandon were going back and forth, but like there's a real relationship that can be built through that competition.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's if you've got people that understand that it's team first, and it's always a balance because it is team first, but you want to be the guy. So it's kind of keeping that in check. But when you've got guys that realize that, I think that was one of the great things that, looking back to 98, of course, every time I say this, it always kind of brings up a weird feeling because you're like, you start doing the math on the last time we had a conference championship and you almost don't want to talk about it, And so, looking back at 98, I get hurt and Brandon steps in and plays the way he did at K-State. And that right there was a perfect example of we had a great room. You had guys that were about team first. You can see a lot of guys would have gotten their feelings and wouldn't have been ready to play, but Brandon was ready to go. And likewise, on the other side of that, I'd gotten benched the year before, but I didn't get my feelings. And so when it was time to make a change, I was ready. So when you've got guys that are unselfish and they know that the team is first, that's when the great things can happen because it really is next man up when something like that happens.
Speaking of team, what do you think about what Coach Elko's building here? Last year did not end well. We all know that. Don't need to be reminded. But it felt like something was different. What do you think about it here entering year 2?
Man, I tell you, the thing that's encouraging is that you see the defense. My A&M that I know, you had the wrecking crew. I remember there was a time when, from guys where, when you had, Reggie Brown and Ray Mickens and Edward Jasper and Brandon Mitchell, all these guys that were a part of my group, Dat Wynn, the name, those are the guys that I started out with when I got there. And then you have Dat and others that come along, and then you kind of go through this time where you're like, man, where's that wrecking crew feel? Where you're like, man, it feels like that's starting to come back. Obviously he's a defensive coach and he's going to, pay attention to that side of the ball because that's his deal. I think we're starting to see that. I think what he's building there, just talent wise, from what because I check around with coaches that I know that maybe aren't affiliated with A&M and they say A&M starting to feel like what it used to. And so that's the encouraging thing. That's the exciting thing for guys, I guess you say old guys like us now, because you always want A&M to represent what A&M's about. And I think when A&M has struggled, we've gotten away from, what is A&M? And I think Coach Elko is bringing us back to what we are. And I think when you look at the teams that have been successful in the past, I think that fits up with that whole Aggie mindset, just lockstep, because that's who we are.
As a former player, it's good to get back to what this program was built on, right? Like strong defense, strong running game, like culture.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to, you think about the guys that I played with, and it was myself or Dad or Dan, and just, we weren't the guys that were, the freak athletes, but we would outwork you. And, not to use Dan's description, but, if you knocked us down, we controlled how tough we could be. We controlled how hard we wanted to work. And that's the things that I think makes A&M a special place, is because the Aggies, they never quit. And Aggies, we would like to think we'll outwork anybody. We have a tremendous work. So you look at all these things and, you put all that together, and that's what makes A&M who we are. And so when you see that on the field, that just makes you really proud.
Randy, you brought up Dan there. What do you think about the incredible job he's doing there in Detroit? And just, I don't know, did you see this as I don't want to see this as a possibility when you guys were younger, but like, I'm sure he showed these leadership qualities, when you were in school.
Yeah, without a doubt. Dan's a phenomenal leader, and he's always been that way. I can remember talking to him and just especially that first year when they were not doing so good and just encouraged him because, a long time ago, a coach told me, he said, you find out who your real friends are when you're losing. He said, when you win, everybody calls you. He said, but when you're losing, you only get about 4 or 5 calls. So I thought, man, I wanted to just, kind of be that encourager for Dan. But, toughness, discipline, work ethic, and loving your teammate, that works in any realm, whether you're starting a franchise as a restaurant or a lumber mill or the head coach of the Detroit Lions. And I think that's what he's put together. And in doing that, I think that's what his, it's awesome to see it because it's in front of everybody in our country that they see these core principles of what it means to be like a good person and just the core principle of just good humanity, man, that translates, and that's what the Detroit Lions have done.
Randy, I forget if we talked about this last year when you were on the show. I know I think, focused more on the rivalry with Texas. So as I was preparing for this morning, I was reminded of the play against Tulsa, the touchdown pass to CT, Chris Taylor, who's on our postgame wrap every week. 98 yards. I still think it's the longest ever in A&M history, or it's top 2. And what do you remember about it?
Right. Man, of course, I'm sitting there watching it. That's it's always funny when you see those little videos. My kids first watched those. The first thing they said is, "What's wrong with the TV?" And I'm like, "There's nothing wrong with it." I said, "We just didn't have HD back then." And so anyway, yeah, it was on the goal line, and it was one of those things that man, we're max protects, and there wasn't any other options. So it's pretty much, man, it's not a matter of, if he's not open, go to something else. It was more like just put it out there and put enough air under it and let him run underneath it. And, of course, CT could fly. And so that was just the thing. It just dropped back and just let it up there. As you see, we max protects. And so just put it up there, and he did the rest. And who would have thought that, golly, what is it, almost 30 years now, that we're still talking about that.
Now, did you think this could be a touchdown?
No, I was just thinking, man, don't take a sack. don't get it. Don't give up a safety, or they'll never listen. Because we back then, it wasn't like it was nowadays. So when we got to throw, that was like, oh man, we get or we're getting the shotgun. Man, we're in the shotgun, And so now they do it every snap. So we were throwing. I didn't want to mess it up.
Randy, are you going to be in town this weekend? Or are you going to watch it on TV?
Man, so I referenced my 2 sons. They've got one's at a junior college and one's at a Division III school, and so they've got games this weekend. So I won't be there, but I'll be watching it either on my phone or at home. But yeah, we're going to be rooting like crazy.
Hope to see you soon, man. Thanks so much for making a few minutes.
Anytime, man. Always love talking Aggie ball.
All right, I'll talk to you soon, Randy. Randy McCown there.
Take care.
You too, buddy. On the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. We'll hit a break. When we come back, we'll talk to Max Wright. We're talking about Heritage Films. Chance McClain actually texted me one of the responses he got from an Aggie who did a Heritage film recently. Jack says, the premiere showing yesterday was a huge success. Chance, as the credits and outtakes ran, we had clapping, tears, happy ones, and smiles all around, including Jack. Congratulations and thank you to the entire Heritage Films team. Well done, very well done. Exceeded all of our expectations. Your research, your photo, your videos, your additions, the audio enhancements, the transition, the little things all made the viewing a great experience, not just something to watch. So there you go. That's from Bill about the Jack premiere. How about that? That's Chance sent that to me. He's like, this is the kind of stuff that we get, especially from Aggies, right? So if you want a story done on your family, reach out to Chance and his whole team. They do these 2-hour documentaries that are second to none. I did one with my dad. We just read Jack's. There's so many different examples of Aggies sharing their story. 2-hour documentaries that you pass on to the future generations, where you will be together watching this, and it'll be emotional, it'll be powerful, and I highly, highly recommend it. The website is yourheritagefilm.com, yourheritagefilm.com, 713-893-8341, 713-893-8341. Oh, hey, I'm on the air. That was awkward. TexAgs Live. Even though Nick told me, we're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We're in the Rollo Insurance Studio. All right, so let's go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. We got a couple texts. Now, this whole super chat thing, I feel pressure to like, I don't know, like how do we know? Like, is there like an alert? I know you're going to do an alert.
It'll pop up.
Okay.
Trust me. I will make a sound effect and go crazy whenever we do get a super chat. You can like see them. It'll pop up for us.
And by the way, the premium chat. So we were calling the super chat TexAgs.com, but we've changed that. We're changing the language. We're calling it the premium chat. Because I need something from the premium chat for those paying customers.
Somebody said that would be, I believe it was Ag Engineer 12 said that Luke had a good fit on today. And that's probably my favorite comment.
No, I don't think that's what he said. I think he said, awesome guest.
Yeah, he said, Ag Engineer 12 said, morning, Luke, you've got a good fit today.
I don't see that on. I'm looking at it directly.
You got to scroll up to 8:17 a.m.
8:17 a.m. Let's see. Did he really? Wow, there's a lot of chats today.
Left lane for passing.
Did say it.
Yeah, left lane for passing. How about this? How long before Rutgers, Northwestern, and Purdue get the boot from the Big Ten? Would they ever kick teams like that out?
I don't think that's going to happen. Now, if we get into a world where there is no like Big Ten, SEC, I mean, there will be in some version of it, but I don't think they're kicking teams out. I don't think they're kicking Vanderbilt out.
Yeah, everyone was.
You need teams to beat up on. You can't have everybody good.
And also, like, let's not pretend like Vanderbilt doesn't also add some academic prestige.
Absolutely,
and baseball is
Northwestern
a significant
does
sport.
that.
Yeah, like these schools, people who think we should kick schools out because they're bad at football is crazy to me.
Yeah, no, and by the way, some of these schools, like Vanderbilt, are really good at baseball.
Yeah, baseball is a significant part of the SEC footprint.
Occasionally very good at basketball.
Occasionally, let's hope not this year, even though I do really like their coach and their roster.
Yeah, let's go to the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. Max Wright joining us on the program to chit-chat a little bit about all things Texas A&M. Max, what's up, buddy?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, man. What's going on in your world?
Man, I'm really excited to get back to watching Texas A&M football, man. I got to tell you. I'm working in the construction world now, so it's a little different world than getting to go out and be playing guys on Saturday. But, man, I'm doing good. I'm working for Caldwell Companies. Former football player Fred Caldwell is my boss. It's good, man. I'm good.
Happy to hear that, man. So I know you were working there last year, but it sounds like your role's kind of evolved this year, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, my role's evolved. I'm actually one of the development managers out here at Chambers Creek in Willis, Texas. So I'm getting a chance to run the project. It's fun. I really enjoy it.
Awesome. Hey, so I know you're excited about the season. Let's start off with an area that you understand better than any of us, the tight end room. What do you think about this tight end room? I know you watched Theo kind of come up through the system. He's now the guy. I mean, there's other guys there, but he's now like it's his time.
Yeah, man. I got to tell you, seeing the growth that Theo has made since my time seeing him as a freshman, new guy coming in from Sweden, it's been awesome. He's always been a physically imposing player. He's always had the intangibles to be a great and elite tight end. But I think getting to see him really come into himself and come into his role as not just the receiving guy, which is more what he was used to in Sweden, but also being physical in the blocking game and just stepping into, the role that you have to be to play the tight end position in the SEC. It's been awesome. I've been talking with him quite a bit leading up to this season. I know that he's really excited to get out and have a breakout season for this team. I think that tight end room is deeper than people realize. I think that they brought in some talent in the offseason through the transfer portal. That's really going to help Theo, get to have guys out on the field with him that can be physical in the blocking game, but also be elite threats in the passing game as well. So I'm excited to see what the tight end room is going to do.
Yeah,
really am.
I was going to say, Max, I look at some of these names. I don't know if you've made it to a practice, but they all come with something that you need from the tight end room, right? The guys that are very good blockers, guys who can be a pass catcher, guy who can be a wide receiver threat at the tight end position. You got Keati Armstrong, the freshman, who we expect to be a beast here in the future. Just when you think about the different pieces that Coach Klein's going to have there at tight end.
Yeah, I think the they were intentional about what they went out and got in the offseason, man. I think that you could see it. The Alabama transfer, having a lengthy guy who can go out and make plays, who's elite speed from the tight end position, who creates mismatch problems. The transfer from Nebraska, I believe, Nate, who's a physical blocker in the run game. Watching his film, I love the way that he gets in it and puts his nose in things. It reminds me a lot of how I used to play the tight end position, where a willingness to be physical in the run game. And you got to have a guy who's a bulldog in that position to be able to run the football as much as Coach Klein does in this offense. I think that some of the up-and-coming talent, too, is going to be huge in having depth at that position. You got to be able to bring multiple tight ends on the field to be able to be successful in the offense. And you got to have guys who can be multidimensional, which is what they went out and got. They went out and got talent that can fill the need at that position. And I think it's going to be a really fun group to watch, just the depth and the growth that they've made over the past year. The second year in offenses I know is big, and I know that Theo now has really gotten comfortable and is a leader in that room. So I'm excited to see how they perform this season.
Your last season at A&M, did you get to spend time with Marcel at all? Anything that you noticed about him as he was coming up?
Yeah, absolutely. Man, I got to watch Marcel on the scout team torch our starting defense. He's been a dynamic playmaker from the first day that he stepped onto campus, and it's been really cool because one thing about Marcel too is, man, he's just a great teammate and he's a great leader. And even from his days of being, the youngest guy on the scout team, he was commanding and leading that offense with a willingness just to serve and be there for the guys around him. That's always been my favorite thing about Marcel is, he's a great football player, but he's so easy to go out and lay it on the line for. And I think that's one of the things that you're going to see from, the offensive line this year and the positions around him is the guys are willing to put it on the line for him. And that's a testament to quarterbacks who are true leaders in that room. Marcel he's an amazing athlete, but he also has an amazing work ethic. So I really think that we're going to see some huge strides this season from the guy. I'm so pumped for him. It's been cool to see his growth from the scout team grinder who, I'm sure Damani Richardson and those guys remember him making them look silly, juking them out and stuff. So he's stepping into a really, really cool position, and his story's great to watch. I'm really proud of him.
Max, why do you think, I have a theory, but why do you think Marcel doesn't get the national love that I think he should? And look, I'm not saying he needs to be listed as a top 5 quarterback, but he was number 30 on the CBS Sports list, and a bunch of quarterbacks haven't even played a moment in college football. Why do you think he doesn't get the love?
I did not know he was number 30 on that list. That seems very low to me. I think some of that comes just from him stepping into the season, kind of not the middle of the year, but a few games in like he did last year, and some people thinking that he was catching people off guard. I know that one of the jokes that was made was whenever he came in for the LSU game, the coach said they didn't expect a mini Lamar Jackson to step onto the field who could run it and throw it as well as he did. But I think people expect this year for teams to be ready for him, which I don't think they will be. I think that his growth that he's made and the natural playmaking ability that he has, it wasn't a fluke last season. I've been watching him do that, and from scout team to when he finally started getting reps with the 1s and the 2s. Whenever I was there my last year, I think that there's some doubt in that last year was a fluke. Is he really the real deal? Which I think that 30 is unbelievably low for a guy of his talent and of his play level. I think that he'll really shock a lot of teams. And I think that ranking will change dramatically by the middle of the season.
Let's close out with this. Another group that you're quite familiar with, that offensive line. A lot of those dudes you played with, you saw them come up as young players and now veterans. Just talk to us about that unit and what you expect from them this year.
That unit reminds me a lot of the 2020 offensive line that we had with Carson Green, Dan Moore. Who else was on that offensive line?
Kenyon was a young player on that one, right?
Yeah, Kenyon Green was a young player on that line as well. You had experience, you had veterans, you also had young talent who were coming in, who were getting mentored by some of that older group. That's what this O-line feels like to me. Trey Zune, to me, feels like the centerpiece of that group. If you want to talk about a leader in a room and a guy who sets a standard, that's Trey. I've seen him doing it since his first day on campus, and I think that's the thing I'm most excited about with this team as a whole is what Elko's talked about in a lot of his press conferences is they've acted like a veteran team, and it's because in a lot of ways they are, and they're more of a veteran team than I think what we've had in previous seasons. And I think that offensive line is going to carry themselves that way. They're they're a nasty group who really do all love each other and play for each other. And that you got to have that in the offensive line room to be successful. Man, I'm super excited. I'm excited to have Mark Naboo back, him healthy. I'm excited to have Trey Zune, obviously at left tackle, killing it. Seeing him get center reps is pretty funny. I'm texting him saying that he needs to stay out at left tackle, but I know he can do both. And then obviously, Demetrius Crownover and those guys filling in the other spots is going to be really fun to watch. And Armaj Reed Adams coming back too. And you got some senior leadership there and depth that we haven't seen in the offensive line room for quite some time. And I think they're going to be really characteristic to what that 2020 team was, where they were dominant. They were up for the Joe Moore Award. I think that this offensive line team is going to be the centerpiece of this team this season.
Max, great stuff, man. Thanks so much for making a few minutes. We'll catch up with you next week.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Gig 'em.
Gig 'em. Max Wright here on TexAgs Live on the Bucky's Catering and Bartending Hotline. We'll hit a break. We'll come back. Jamie Morrison, fresh off a top 10 victory. We'll chit-chat with him here in a few minutes. Headquartered right here on Highway 6 in College Station, you got the Rollo Insurance Group. Great people work at Rollo Insurance. They have our community values in mind when they do everything here in town. They're an independent agency that works for you, not the shareholders. Their team provides objective consultation across all insurance types in Texas and beyond. They join thousands of Aggies who trust Rollo Insurance. I trust them. I know many folks that work at TexAgs trust them as well. When local matters hit home, like severe weather, regional economic shifts, Rollo agents understand the impact firsthand because they live here too. And their independence means they can recommend solutions from dozens of carriers based on what's best for you, not what's most profitable for them. That's why so many local families and businesses make Rollo Insurance their very first call. The difference is real. Call them up, 888-44-ROLLO. That's 888-44-ROLLO, or go to rolloinsurance.com/TexAgs. That is rolloinsurance.com/TexAgs. Little volleyball time here on TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. Jamie Morrison's in studio, fresh off a top 10 victory, and heading on the road for quite a bit.
Yeah.
Jamie, how are you, sir?
Couldn't be better.
So, all right, let's talk about, hopefully we have a series of statement wins.
Yeah.
But to get such a quality win early, just talk about that.
Yeah, I think I talked about it to our team, and I talked about it just in the press conference afterwards. It's just a really nice building block. And you go back and watch the video, there's things we can do better, but there's lots and lots and lots of really good things going on within that match. So for me, it's just a step along the journey. And I think we talked actually leading into this week about we're in a new phase just on that. We're going to prep for opponent, which I thought we did a really good job of. We had a good game plan, and the girls executed at a really high level. And then we're going to go play this match, and kind of this is an expression of who we are at this moment in time. And we're going to watch some video, we're going to refine, and we're going to go through that cycle again of prepping for the next opponent, which is Rice. So I think we're doing a really good job of that.
I think it was the first set, you're tied at 22 or 23, and then just go on a roll, like seizing the moment.
No, I told them afterwards, I think I was most proud of the first set. We just had some talks about how we come into a match, and especially the first match of the year, we might not be firing on all cylinders, and we might be a little thing called nervous, because that happens, and I think people forget that we're dealing with human beings sometimes, and I thought both teams were a little bit, and I said whoever figures it out fastest is going to win the first set, and I thought we were kind of grinding. We were down by 2 or 3 in that. We never panicked. It never became like, hey, we don't have it all going right now, and then all of a sudden it clicked at 22, or maybe even before that. Like I think we were down 18-21 or something like that, and it was here's this point and this point, and then we popped out and won. It was awesome.
Yeah, and I think there's lessons in that, right, that can be applied later on in the season when there are these tense moments. And it could be against a team that you're supposed to beat, or it might be against a great opponent. We've been down this road before. We've already proven we can do it.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing we talked about. It's just, and I actually admitted to the team, like I had made a mistake in the past about how we play and like modeling that only off of when things are going great, like the big stuff block, big kill, things along those lines. And we just started talking about, all right, what does it look like when it's average? Because you're going to have those matches when you're average, and if we can build our average to be better than everybody else is good, then all of a sudden we're giving ourselves the best chance to go as far as we can in the tournament at the end of the year.
Yeah, Logan, not surprising, but MVP honors after that one, 22 kills. Just every week we're going to probably talk about Logan at some point, but just another one of those performances.
Yeah, no, and it's one of those ones too where it's like I thought she was playing well, but then you look at the numbers afterwards, you're like, man, 22 points in 4 sets is hard. And then the second piece is to hit without high of an efficiency is hard. And there's still places that she can get better in there. We're going to go back and watch video, and like there's still room for upgrades. So again, you're going starting spots, just the ability to kind of, I thought, let her kind of have her night, but I thought we also had balance at the same time, which is really hard to do. I thought it was really impressive.
Afena's crucial blocks there in that first set. All
I thought she won that. Like she came into the front row at that point, and whenever you get like a certain look in her eyes, she's like, "I'm gonna go block this ball," and she had that coming in, and she blocked the first one. I'm like, she's gonna go get another one right now.
Yeah.
But I thought just she brings a level of swagger to the court that I think a lot of other people can't.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that I think her teammates probably like feed off of that.
I think so for sure. Yeah.
Kendall making her debut. Just talk a little bit about. I don't want to say easing her, but like. Folks are going to know her name if they don't already know it.
Folks will know her name, and it's not. It's a little bit of easing. Just I think one of the things we really try to do is make sure that the body piece of this is taken care of for the entire season. So there is a little bit of that, but you're going to hear her name a lot, and she's a special athlete and she's a special human being too. And I think you can say that about all of our players, but you will be for sure.
What about chemistry on the court? We see it, but off the court. What kind of group is this?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't think I could. I don't know. Put words to that and how much just. And I had a moment. I don't remember what we were joking around about. Oh, they were trying to get me to charter us home from Utah so that we could make the football game. Was what we were joking around about. But I said I'd get to work on that from a fundraising standpoint. But I was just the way that they're bantering, the way that they're going about stuff, just whether it be having a meal or things along those lines. I think it's I don't know. It's a really fun group to be around right now, and I think I've gotten I just got another one out in the lobby. Like my 8th comment, just about your girls seem to really enjoy being on the court together, and it's one of the things we talk a lot about. And I'm just proud of the fact that shows through a TV screen and that people can see that at home.
So September 18th is the next time you play at Reed. I don't know if people realize that's at least. So there's an opportunity to make some away games. Home games, right? You'll be at Rice this weekend.
Yeah, we'll be at Rice this weekend, and just I don't know. My goal right now is to have people as much as possible be able to see us in some different pockets. We did it a little bit on purpose, and I tried to get one more home game, and I was actually just looking at the ABCA top 10, and I literally invited the other 9 teams in the top 10 to come here and play a match, and all 9 said no. But I wanted to have a tougher schedule. But we also, I think it's a cool opportunity for us to get into places that have a lot of Ags, and we get down to Houston this weekend. So Friday at 6 o'clock, we play Rice. I'd love to have a lot of Maroon in that crowd. And then I think the 9th and 10th of September, if I remember that correctly, we head up to Dallas, and we play SMU, and we play TCU. And I just bring it up now because that SMU match is, I think, near sold out. When I say our sport is growing, it's growing. And I can't wait to see kind of how our attendance kind of does this year. And I just encourage people to come out. But if you're in the Houston area, the Dallas area, you get a chance to come out and see us. So again, this weekend, 6 o'clock on Friday against Rice, and I think 2 o'clock on Saturday. And then heading up to Dallas in a couple weeks to play those 2 matches.
Is it for you? I think you just, whoever's in front of you, like OB and I were talking about Le'Veon Moss, like, he wants to run through people. I feel like that's how you are with top opponents. Is it a little scary though, like, not easing your way into a schedule? Like, hey, we're starting off with the top 10 team and we're going to keep it going.
It's actually interesting because I thought about it when I was making the schedule, it would be, but then it was just excitement.
Yeah.
And I tell the girls a story at the beginning of every single year. Just that we got a chance to sit down and talk with Kobe, and I won't give a story away because I think it's something that, I don't know, is special. But I was with the national team that came in, and it was just, those opportunities are awesome. Mm-hmm. Like to step out and prove yourself against the best team, or one of the best teams in the country. Like you don't get those every single day. So yeah, there's a little bit of like, man, but I literally remember this, like the day before I'm sitting there and I'm like, there's just one little piece we got to iron out right now. Right. And like, we're playing really good volleyball. And I'm like, it's the first game of the season. I'm talking about one piece.
Right.
And we're playing really good. And again, like I've told our team, like we're going to get in and watch video, but we need to upgrade, but it's getting harder and harder to find. And the only reason I'm going to try to find it is because we have set the goal of trying to be really far in the tournament at the end of the year. And if we're going to do that, we got to refine these small things that are really, really hard to change. And that's where we're at right now.
Yeah. And when you're talking about this micro view of things that you can do on the court, it's also about the season in general, right? We got to worry about Rice.
Yep.
You can't think
about.
Yeah.
Like, but there's things like, like we're gonna get in here and talk. Like we can't make as many unforced errors as we did in the second set. Like there's things that will affect Rice, but will also affect that. Mm-hmm. And I think that's like the art of coaching a little bit. You got to be like, hey, what do I need to do to win tomorrow? But also like, how do I sprinkle in these things that are really, really important to the game so that I can win in 3 months also. And that's what practice has to be about, is kind of this constant refining cycle of like, hey, we're going to have the end goal in mind, but at the same time, like, how do we win on Friday?
Don't you think that really good teams, great teams, they want to be coached? They want to be pushed.
Yeah. And we're at that spot right now. I was actually literally like another talk I'm probably having today is just, I think when you have mission vision and you live in alignment with that, like being pushed is the thing that has to happen. Like, and I think our team understands that now. It's not, nobody's ever comfortable fully with like, hey, you're doing this wrong and this needs to upgrade. No one ever feel, but like, I think it's this quick, like, no, he's doing this because he cares about me and us getting further ahead in the tournament. And I think we're at that spot right now with our group. And I don't even know if it's the greats. I think it just becomes a piece of culture with teams.
All right, so let's wrap it up. We've got Rice this weekend.
Yep.
2 matches there this in Houston. You'll be in Dallas in the early part of September.
Yep, I believe the 9th and 10th. You can quote me on that one. It's a Tuesday, Wednesday.
And then Reed Arena, September 18th, Southeastern Louisiana.
Yep, the first match. We have 3 matches that weekend. So
this is the time of year you love, right?
I mean, I love all of them. I love the development piece, but like talked about this in the locker room. I like competing is in my DNA.
Yeah,
and just I got a lot of questions from the press about the way that I act on the sideline. I'm like, I'm just being me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think there's anything, I don't know, quite like standing on the sideline. I'll actually have this one. There's nothing like standing on a sideline, and I've never had this feeling. I've always wondered what it felt like to play in Kyle Field, having that many people have your back. And I remember our Texas game last year. Like I cheered for like the first one, and all of a sudden it was like 10,000 people behind me. Like charge, and I was like, man, I don't know. Team makes fun of me for how often I get chills, but I get chills thinking about that moment. And I don't know. I love competing in the highest level, but like being able to do it at home in front of the 12th man is going to be really fun.
Jamie, thank you, sir.
Always a pleasure.
Appreciate you. We'll hit a break. We'll come back with more 10 o'clock hour. Jason Howell will be on the program. Peter Burns of the SEC Network. It's TexAgs Live. Kaylee Dreyer, Living on a Prayer. No chance you know who sung that song.
I know the song.
Okay.
I don't know who sung it.
John Bon Jovi.
Okay. My
I'm
mom
sure
loves him.
I was going to say, your mom probably loves John Bon Jovi.
My mom does love him. I couldn't tell you another song, but
Okay.
heard that one before.
Yeah, the theme song to Young Guns we discussed on the show a couple days ago, but no biggie. I know you didn't watch that movie either because you don't watch movies.
I did not watch that movie.
But you do watch sports.
Yes.
And I'm sure you saw the soundbite from your boy C.J. Stroud, the Texans quarterback, about Longhorns in his mentions, and he's got a bunch of Aggies surrounding him.
Well, I've been watching a lot of their, the 53-man roster and all that stuff. I've not seen that.
Okay.
But I'd be interested to watch it, so I'm going to go watch it.
Yeah, he was
afterwards.
on Yahoo yesterday with Andrew Siciliano, and he was talking about, I'm in Aggieland, so it was nice to see.
Well, I'm going to get started with Around
No,
Aggieland.
I don't want you to. No, let's waste more time. Yeah, go ahead.
So to start off, the Texas A&M men's basketball team is set to face SMU in the Hoop Hype XL College Basketball Showcase on December 7th in Arlington. The Aggies have claimed 8 of the last 10 meetings with the Mustangs, and this matchup will be the final non-conference road game of the year. Moving on to volleyball, a big win this week. Number 9 Texas A&M volleyball pushed past number 11 Minnesota at the AVCA First Serve on Monday night. They won 3 out of the 4 sets. And Logan Lednicki led the offense with 24 points, which included 22 kills, 2 blocks, and 12 digs. Her performance earned her the match MVP and secured her 25th straight match with double-digit kills. Next up, they head to Houston on Friday, for 2 matches versus Rice and Central Arkansas. And last thing I have is Texas A&M soccer earned a 2-1 win over the Yukon Huskies with Taylor Jernigan kicking the game winner in the 86th minute. This match marked the second largest crowd in program history with 6,857 fans. It also ranked 10th on the NCAA's list for attendance in a regular season match.
Thank you, Kelly. Appreciate you very much. I did not know this, and Nick, maybe you knew, but Buddy Johnson, was he cut from the Cowboys?
He was, yeah.
I did not know that.
I didn't want to bring it up, but yeah, unfortunately, he was.
That's unfortunate news. I got a text there from Dave and Temple. Not happy about that, but he'll get hooked up somewhere, and we'll get him back on the show when he does. So that was not good news. David in Houston on the text line says, Coach Morrison wants all the smoke from the top 10, calling all the other teams. No, he's not calling them any words. He's just getting ready.
Didn't he seem like his demeanor kind of different, like in a good way? Like he kind of walked in like...
I thought the same thing.
Yeah, I've been telling you about this the entire offseason, and you finally got to see it, and I was proven right.
Yeah, what I think it was, there's a level of intensity that comes with the season that I believe played a part in how he came across. Like, for instance, this show, football season started. I think I don't know, I want to say raised our game, but there's a little bit more level of sharpness that is, because now like everything matters for us, right? And I think that's exactly what you saw from James. Like, it's season time. We are focused on getting further than we've ever been.
Absolutely. And I mean, they took the big first step on, what was it, Monday they played? Yeah. So hopefully they can go to Houston this week and clean sweep it. Why not?
Yeah, let's keep it going. A couple things we have on the show over the next hour. We're going to do some recruiting country. And if you have questions for Jason Howell, please do that at 979-693-1150. You can text us that number. And maybe we'll even take on a call, because people say I don't take calls. I just don't ask for a lot of calls, but if calls are good, I'm going to take a call. Oh, what?
Calls typically could be not the best.
But what if they are the best?
I mean, it's America, right? Like you can call a show if you want to. You can answer it if you want to.
I do.
I'm not going to. Yeah, I know you do.
Actually, my favorite calls are the worst calls.
That's true.
Those are my favorite. I love bad calls. But I don't know if the audience loves bad calls. I actually really like smart calls. I don't love when people tell me they're from Hugh from Australia. I don't like when that happens on the show.
Your good friend Hugh, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Jess. Anyway, when we come back, Jason Howell, Recruiting Country, brought to you by American Momentum Bank. We'll talk to him. We'll talk to Peter Burns. We'll get to those text messages. A lot of football here on a Wednesday. It is TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Hey friends, David Nuño here for Prize Picks. They're back on TexAgs, prizepicks.com/TexAgs. Use the code TexAgs to get $50 once you play in $5 lineups. And Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Football season's here, basketball coming up, baseball, you name it. You go to prizepicks.com/TexAgs and start having some fun watching sports, making some money on there. And you can play Prize Picks in over 40 states, including California and Texas. Remember, they'll give you $50 in lineups once you play $5 lineups on Prize Picks. And they have the new thing. It's called It's Good to Be Right campaign, and they're kicking off the upcoming NFL season with their bold new campaign, It's Good to Be Right. The seasonal long push celebrates the thrills of getting it right, from the perfect prediction to winning your Prize Picks lineups. Prize Picks is good to be right. Hey, everybody. I always start looking at the wrong camera, Nick. I can't look at
You're
the right
learning.
Huh?
You're learning.
But I hate this. This is what it looks like.
I'll start cueing you. I'm sorry. That's a failure on me as a producer.
No, it's a failure of me not seeing the little red light. Anyway, for those listening on radio, you don't care. Those watching on TV, do you care? I don't know. It's TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We are in the Rollo Insurance Studio, and it is time for Recruiting Country, brought to you by American Momentum Bank. And on the Buppies Catering Hotline, we have our friend Jason Howell. Jason, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So I never know like what the proper protocol is of when you can text somebody. And I texted you this morning, I think at like 6 a.m. I don't know if you have, because I didn't know who was coming on the show today, if it was you or Bronny. And so I apologize for the early text. But since it's a morning show, I feel that that allows me the ability to text friends early? Because I know my friends text me late.
My ringer stays off and on my phone on silent. I expect notifications all night long, so a text isn't going to bother me. Now, the response usually, I tend, my day starts around 7:00 typically. So, yeah, I got right back to you. I think it was right at about 7:00. But yeah, no big deal at all.
Well, I know the one thing about Jason. I ask if he can do the show. It's always a yes. He will stop what he's doing, even if he's on a road trip for 2 weeks, in different states, wasting all the TexAgs money, because he is about the company. I'm kidding with you, Jason. But I bet you're pumped now with high school football starting.
Oh man, it's here. We finally get the live bullets out there on the gridiron across the state of Texas. It's gonna be a lot of fun getting out. I know we as a recruiting team, me, Bronny, and Cade have a nice little schedule for this weekend. A lot of games, getting to see a lot of top prospects, and really excited to hit the road.
Yeah, so let's talk about where you'll be, and I don't know what you can share about the team.
Yeah, so Thursday night, I'm planning to be out in DISD for a little Mansfield Timberview Dallas Kimball action. My main focus is going to be checking in with Chance Collins, safety at Timberview, committed to Texas A&M this summer. A&M won a big heavily contested battle there, and Miami's kind of trying to come on strong a little bit, but yeah, the Aggies have his commitment, and he's got several teammates that are pretty good. There's a UTSA commit and cornerback Davin Hill, and there's several guys drawing attention out that way, and then Friday night, I'm looking to get out to Carthage, Kilgore, see a couple of A&M commits, KJ Edwards, DeQuivis Beck, and Edwards' little brother, JD Edwards. Keep an eye on him. He already has a Texas A&M offer. Athlete, does a little bit of everything. And then Kilgore. That's a team, man. They have a lot of talent of their own, and it should be a fun East Texas knockdown, drag out fight. Kilgore took that one last year, so there could be a little revenge on the mind. Kind of getting that one back and starting the year off right for Carthage. So we'll see what happens there, but it should be a lot of fun.
Talking to Jason Howell here on TexAgs Live. So, Jason, we got a message from Randy who's asking, which is the strongest position group in the 27 class? I think he must be asking about 26, because 27, I think we only have 2 commits, right?
Well, is he talking about just overall in the overall rankings? Because let me tell you, that offensive line group in the 27 class is ridiculous, top to bottom, and that's in a very strong group in the state of Texas. Just a phenomenal group of talent at the top and a lot of depth. And A&M's very much involved with. They picked up a commitment of DJ Johnson out of Tyler Legacy, who is a big. Got a lot of tools, but then you have Ishmael Kamar, who they're very involved with. Caden Scott. A lot of different guys, Kennedy Brown out there. There's a lot of top talent in that offensive line group in the 27 class, and I would put the offensive line as the cream of the crop. As far as 26 commits, man, what A&M's got going, I love what they have across the board. It's hard to name one. That running back group is phenomenal with Jonathan Hatton and KJ Edwards. It's one of the top duos you'll find anywhere across the country. But you got some strength in that defensive line group as well. Linebacker has some studs in there, as well as the DBs. There's a lot throughout. and you could really. I love the way it's put together as a group. I think they've done a good job addressing needs there.
And they got their quarterback in that group too, Helaman Kasuga. So they've kind of got, as things stand right now, a little bit of everything, Jason.
Yeah, exactly. They've answered a lot of questions. I think you're looking at a few pieces, maybe to kind of wrap some things up, tie up some loose ends. Maybe another offensive lineman, another big D lineman. I know me and Bronny have talked about it at length, and there's potential flip prospects. We've talked about, the Lamar Browns and Jamie and Winfields and Booby Feasters and some of those guys out there, Tristan Keys, guys to watch. But overall, I mean, they've done a phenomenal job. You may see some new names come up. We saw it last year with Nelson McGuire and several others across the state that went from nothing to quite a few and became hot targets for A&M and schools across the country. So definitely something to keep an eye on and throughout the process. But you got to like where you're at with 27 commitments going into the fall with your needs pretty much addressed.
Well, Jason, I know you have this awesome feature on the site that I haven't been able to watch just yet, but it's the family members of Texas A&M commits speak about the recruiting process. And if I'm understanding it correctly, you've got like different types of videos of the certain roles or the season, if you will, of recruiting, from the early days to watching them play, to recruiting advice, to the A&M culture, to Kyle Field, to the comfort in the decision, and then you have a whole bonus section.
Yeah, so when I went to on that trip, South Carolina and Georgia, I wanted to get as much content and I guess juice out of the trip and really get as much as possible and provide a lot of quality content. And one of the ideas we came up with was sitting down with some of the parents as we made the trips to the schools and just kind of getting an idea of how it all comes together. And so tried to ask similar questions and come up with some good topics of discussion. And man, I was able to sit down, Brandon Pridgeon, Aaron Gregory's dad, Dion and Michelle Turner, and Jordan Carter's parents, and Adrian and Brian Spencer, his grandparents, Martrell Herndon, and Twana Watkins Herndon, the parents of Tamarian Watkins and Brianna Perry Wright, who is Bryce Perry Wright's mom. I was able to sit down with all those guys and kind of dig in, and they were phenomenal with just real candid answers and just it was a fun time, a real cool project, and we kind of edited it all together and put it in a topic form. And I mean, we got stuff from Tickle Me Elmo being a ball for and a something that one of the parents was projecting as athletic ability, and waking up for early morning workouts as a sixth grader, the first time visiting Texas A&M, and feeling that Kyle Field atmosphere. We got a ton of stuff, and you can tell in talking to them just there's an overwhelming sense of family that they have with the A&M atmosphere, fan base, and the coaching staff, and ultimately, I think that helped. When they needed to, they were ready to make their decision and put A&M over the top. It was a great time, a lot of really good insight, and just some interesting nuggets out there that I think a lot of people find interesting and really like to dig into.
Jason, I spent some time with Aaron Gregory's family during the summer when they were in town. Just, can you, along with him being such a dynamic playmaker, Can you just talk a little bit about his personality too, and how that it's really going to fit great in this community?
Yeah, he is just such a breath of fresh air, man. He's got a real calm, cool, laid back personality, but he's got a strong vibe to him too. He brings a quiet confidence, and he's a magnet for the camera. He's just natural in front of the lens, and just a very bright kid. I know we did a deal on him and his, just future potentially there in front of the camera. He's done some podcasting. He's done some interviews of his own. Some sideline reporting and things like that. That you see it. He's just kind of a natural and at ease when it comes to talking and telling stories, and he wants people to know him and get to know him, and he's excited about what that opportunity looks like at A&M. But yeah, just a really cool guy. I think he's going to be a real quick fan favorite.
All right, so we got a game this weekend finally. So what does that mean for recruiting wise and visits? And it's the first time that we'll get a chance to see a bunch of these guys together at Kyle Field.
Yeah, I don't want to give too much away, but we did post the visitor list on the board. We got a lot of confirmations. You're going to see, I know Brandon Arrington's tweeted out that he's going to be in town, and you've got a ton of the commits that are going to be in for the weekend. I know Aaron Gregory's, Aiden Crimpin, a few of them there, but you're going to see in-state, out-of-state guys make the trip to College Station for the 6 o'clock kickoff there for UTSA and kick things off the right way. But you got a stout group of 27, several with offers. I'll throw one out. DFW favorite John Meredith is a guy to keep an eye out for Saturday. And then in the 28 class, they're already starting to attract the attention of a lot of those guys as well. You're going to see some top prospects in town for that one. A few with offers there. A couple big offensive linemen that we have confirmed in that 28 class, and a few out-of-state top prospects as well.
Can you kind of, I don't know, maybe give us a little bit of what a weekend looks like or a game day atmosphere looks like for them? Like, is it meetings? Kind of just give us a little bit of a vibe or feel for it.
Yeah, I think it kind of depends on when they're able to get in, but they're going to get into town. They're going to go, probably get everything lined up with the football facilities. They'll get toured around a little bit, and then they'll be at the game with some premium seats that I know have paid off in the past. Let me tell you, that family article, you want to go listen to what they had to say about the atmosphere and the LSU A&M game, because that definitely opened some eyeballs with several of those guys. But yeah, I mean, they're going to be right there. I think you even get to go into the locker room, especially post game and things like that. So they get the full experience of seeing how it all unfolds on game day.
Well, and then actually, this is probably a good time to remind folks about the TexAgs tailgate this Saturday. So if you're coming to the game, it's not just the recruits coming. Come hang out at TexAgs from 3 to 5:30. Free adult beverages provided by Rebecca Creek, Shiner, La Casa Tequila. Oh, wow. Food and drink for purchase by $17.75, and Catalyst energy drinks. We're going to have music and yard games to enjoy before we beat the hell out of UTSA. Hope to see you there. Jason, so, all right, I think one of the strengths of several recruiting classes at A&M, but one of the things that we saw last year is the relationships these players make with each other when they're here for A&M events. Mm-hmm. Speak a little to that.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are going to be in the same area, so their families and them are sitting next to one another, and they typically have people there with A&M ties that can answer questions and things like that. So you've got a lot of things going on there, but yeah, you definitely see those bonds strengthen. I know Madden Williams and Aaron Gregory are a couple that really forged a relationship over the course of their time visiting A&M before they were committed. And I think you see that throughout just those experiences. I know Bryce Perry Wright talked about visiting for the Alabama game in 21 and just how much of an impression that made, and getting to know guys that are currently on the roster and have gone through things before him. So you get a mixture of classes, and they get to talking, and some of these guys have played against each other on Friday night, the day before. So, some friendly jabs here and there and some bonding going on. But yeah, these games and these family atmospheres, especially some of the downtime as they're walking through things and touring around, it can be invaluable.
All right, let's hit a break here. We'll come back with more with Jason. We'll kind of go deeper into 26 and 27. Right now, a moment for Caldwell Country Chevrolet, Highway 21 in Caldwell, online, caldwellcountrychevrolet.com. If you're a business owner and you're looking for new vehicles, you need to check out Caldwell Country Chevrolet. If you're a normal person and you're like, hey, I need a car, you go and you say it like that, you go to Caldwell Country Chevrolet. If you're thinking about buying a vehicle for your young ones that are starting to drive or going to be driving here soon, go to Caldwell Country Chevrolet because they have a great selection. And they also have great pricing, and also trade-in value is phenomenal when you go to Caldwell Country Chevrolet. You'll enjoy the entire experience, especially their customer service when it comes to their complimentary pickup and delivery for their service customers and the free oil changes for life as long as you own that vehicle from Caldwell Country Chevrolet. 15-minute drive the edge of Bryan to the beginnings of Caldwell. Short conversation away, but you'll see the difference when you step on the lot and do business with the great people at Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Highway 21 in Caldwell, online, caldwellcountrychevrolet.com. All right, friends, David Nuño here. While I don't drink a lot of vodka or tequila, my wife does, and that's okay. I can talk all about it here because it's time for Frio Vodka and Rio Agave Tequila, and they're ready to raise their game with the right team, and it starts with Texas brands at Total Wine and More. And before we cheer our Texas Aggies on to victory, we need to stock up on tailgating with the right partners when it comes to adult beverages. And that's why we love Frio Vodka and Rio Agave Tequila. And they're proud to be in their second year as sponsors of TexAgs. And now through Labor Day, this is really important. All profits will be doubled and donated to the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund. It's Texans helping Texas. That's right, the local brand and diehard Aggie fans are continuing support for our state. We're talking about Frio Vodka, not some orange and black labeled brand. Frio, it's 6 times distilled, handmade, crisp, clean vodka. This is the only vodka that should be poured in Aggieland. And Rio Agave Tequila is ideal for Aggies, whether it's the award-winning additive-free Blanco Tequila or the tasty ranch waters using 100% blue agave. You can taste the passion and dedication in every sip. These premium products are about supporting Aggieland and the Texas A&M community. All right, friends, this season, keep it in the family and pour with a purpose. Pour Frio Vodka and Rio Agave Tequila. All right, we're back here on TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. Recruiting Country, brought to you by American Momentum Bank. Got a question for you from the YouTube page. Jason, this comes from Randy. He says, what flip target would you want, Jason, from this class? I say all of them, but maybe not which one you want, but maybe some that you think are potentially still in play?
Yeah, I think we've said it before. I'd keep an eye on receivers Tristan Keys and Booby Feaster. Both Keys committed and still took his visit to A&M, and I know he has a few A&M commits in his ear still. And Booby Feaster with the ties to the DeSoto program, I wouldn't be surprised to see him make his way to a game or two over the course of the season. And it's just something to keep an eye out there.
Okay, I like that. So 27 commits in this class. One of the things you put in the notes to me was you could expect several early enrollees.
Yeah. And this is something we've seen over the last few years. A lot of these guys are gearing up to arrive in January and get that head start and compete in spring practices, and that's the same this year in this class. There's a few we've already got confirmed as that's their plan, and let's see. I would say the vast majority of the class is it's planning to make that happen, but you're going to have some outliers. I know, like Evan Jacobson, dual sport guy who's also heavily involved in basketball. So I think he's not planning to be an early enrollee, and some of the others are still trying to sort things out. But a vast majority are planning to be in town and ready to roll for spring ball.
So when it comes to where A&M stands for 26. The rankings have them anywhere between 5 and 7. So kind of break that down. And then I guess going back to, if you're able to flip one of these guys, what that could potentially do to that number. And also conversely, there's guys coming after your guys as well.
Yeah. And shoot, like we're talking about these flip targets. Yeah, you better hold on to the ones you have as well. So, but right now, as things sit, as the rankings are currently, adjusted for, with all the national lists or whatever, A&M is right there in that 5 to 6 range, and that's not going to change. There's not a whole lot of key targets out there that are uncommitted. So A&M's positioned strongly to have a very good finish and with a top class nation, one of the nation's top classes with depth everywhere. So, and like I said, I think we'll see them add a couple names here and there, and it wouldn't surprise me to see them maybe jump a spot. But yeah, I know as things stand right now, that barring some flips, across the country, I think that's pretty much where things are going to be standing right now. And then going into late November, December, that's what I think we're going to be looking at. And if A&M takes care of business and does some things on the field, I think that's they're not going to be going anywhere.
So if you were to say, all right, guys, my eye is going to be on a couple of these position groups over the next few weeks, what are some position groups to maybe keep an eye on for this class?
Yeah, like I said, O-line, D-line, receiver, maybe one or two guys in that group, and that you could see. I know me and Bronny have both brought up a few guys who could, step up and blow up a little bit, and put themselves on A&M's radar in a bigger way with strong falls. But those are kind of the positions I would look at and kind of keep an eye out as the season progresses. But yeah, I think O-line, D-line, wide receiver, I wouldn't look for a ton of movement with either of those groups, but 1, 2, and maybe some new targets in that group is something to watch.
Jason, remind me. I feel like during the Jimbo era, right around this time, and I'm not trying to compare the strategies, but I feel like maybe it was between 10 and 14 commits. You have 27 at this point right now. I don't remember what it was at this point last year, but I mean, do you think that's going to be kind of like, is it because the way this class is playing out, or is that like a strategy? Let's get as many early on.
Well, I think in the last few years we've seen the tendency for guys to commit early, and so you enter maybe not the number 27, but you end up in going into the fall with the great majority of your class. Pretty much, having a really good idea what's going to happen, how it's going to lay out, and you got a solid group there together. Last year we saw it with Mike Elko's first group. I'll be honest, I'm blanking on the number from last year, but a large majority of the class was already pretty much in the boat, and then you had some guys that weren't committed. And some that may have been committed elsewhere, that kind of like what we're talking about now. So guys that were flip watch potentially, and of course you end up with Lamont Rogers and some of those guys out there. But yeah, I think that's just the natural progression of the recruiting cycle right now, is for a lot of these guys to get their spot locked in, and so they can focus on the fall. And with a lot of these guys planning to enroll in January, they want to have all their classes in order and academic stuff in order to make that happen. And I think that kind of having a school in mind helps with that process. So I think that's just kind of where things are trending more so in the last probably 3 to 4 years. I think that's kind of going to be the trend unless something changes with some of the rules and things like that.
All right, Jason, I appreciate your time, sir. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you here soon, okay?
Absolutely, anytime.
Thank you very much, Jason Howell. Recruiting Country brought to you by American Momentum Bank on the Premium Chat. Ag Engineering 12 says, not going to lie, Nuño, a bunch of people are out of the office this week. Definitely been a struggle to focus on work between the long weekend coming up and football right around the corner. Yep, it's a few days away, and tomorrow we'll have some games, so looking forward to that. When we come back on TexAgs Live, Peter Burns will join us. I do want to remind folks, as my voice cracks, that the special screening for Breaking Tradition, the movie about Hugh McElroy, class of 71, is happening tonight in Houston, right? The Star Center McGrill, City Center on August 27th, today at 6 o'clock. It is set during the Civil Rights era, and it's a powerful documentary that follows McElroy's courageous journey through a transformative period at Texas A&M in the 60s. Tickets are $25, available in the football forum, presented by the Houston A&M Club, with Texas Filmworks and TexAgs, and support from Rifle CRE and the Goodwin Group at Merrill. Don't miss an unforgettable evening celebrating Aggie football history. All right, that's coming up tonight. Right now, let's talk about the Association of Former Students. Houston, opportunity, if you want to move to College Station the way I did, maybe you can get a job at the Association of Former Students. If you are in Aggieland, you need a job or trying to move to Aggieland, maybe look at the Association of Former Students. They bring a lot of great events to the area, and they're seeking to hire professionals to join their team. And there are different positions open from time to time. Sometimes you'll see them in fundraising, in marketing, in sales, communications, you name it, fundraising. They are the nation's premier alumni association and the oldest group serving the A&M network and part of that Aggie story, right? They've been a part of every Aggie story from Howdy to here. Don't miss opportunities to help out the association with Aggie Rain Day, class reunions, Aggie muster, and everything in between. Join a team that exemplifies those Aggie core values of excellence, integrity, leadership, loyalty, respect, and selfless service, all in support of that worldwide Aggie network. So if you're interested in joining the team or sharing with someone that would be a great fit, please visit tx.ag/association jobs to apply and get more information on each position. It is the Association of Former Students. Lots of Peter Burns on the air this week. We had him on Moving the Goalposts with Billy and Amanda. Now he's on TexAgs Live every Wednesday here. He's done it since I've been here at TexAgs and even before with Gabe. We go to the Buppies Catering Hotline. Peter Burns of the SEC Network with us. What's up, buddy?
I like hanging out with you more than Billy. Like, I'll be honest with you, so I'll just cut to the chase. I mean, you ask better questions. Billy's just Billy. But I still love him, too.
Burns, let's admit it, though. You've quote-unquote partied with me. I go to bed at 8, and Billy parties. So I'm terrible to hang out with, but I'm probably good to do an interview with.
Doesn't party anymore. Like old school Billy, like might have. Like he's an old man now as well. Like we actually all are. Like my back hurts. I was just on vacation with the kiddos. My back hurts from doing a damn puzzle. So like again, like trust me, it's hell getting old, but it beats the alternative. And we're finally here for college football. So praise the Lord about that.
So Burns, let's put your fan hat on for a minute. I know you're an LSU fan, and I think you're a UTSA fan, right? Because you went to school there.
Yeah. I pull for the Roadrunners. In fact, I was just in San Antonio this last weekend, and I mean they're excited about it. I mean, you and I talked about it well back in the day, about a year ago. About I thought there was a chance that Jeff Traylor, their head coach at UTSA, was going to get the A&M job. And I think that he was, somewhat mentioned in that running right now. Well, I think there's a little bit, I wouldn't say an axe to grind, because I think that he respects the hell out of Mike Elko and understood why Elko got that job. But I definitely think there's an extra motivation this week in Kyle Field for Jeff Traylor to say, hey, like, I can coach some football as well down here.
Yeah, I'm interested in this game for multiple reasons. A, it's the first game. B, it's an in-state game. C, it's a team like UTSA that has, a couple years ago, they played Texas super tight. I know last year wasn't that good for them against Texas, but they're a team that can move the ball, and that's an area where A&M struggled, especially giving up big plays.
Yeah, I mean, and again, when I talk to people down at UTSA, I mean, they feel as far as, roster-wise, 22 to 22, yes, A&M's going to have better five-star players, but they feel like they can play with anybody. It's just a matter of when the game gets down to depth. If a couple guys get a little bit banged up and all of a sudden they get a little bit winded in their first game, what happens when A&M can lean on a roster that Elko has put together and the foundation of a bunch of 3, 4, 5-star guys versus a roster, that's been picked clean because of the transfer portal, right? I mean, like, UTSA is one of those programs that a lot of these teams are starting to deal with, where it feels like a good double-A team in baseball, which is, hey, when you got a good player, you probably got them for a year, but then they're going to be on this meteoric rise, so they end up cashing a check somewhere else. And that's just the reality of college football and where we're at right now in 2025.
Burns, do you think most analysts who make these lists actually watch these quarterbacks play? Like Julian Sayin was on the CBS Sport. I'm not saying that they didn't watch, but he's top 5 or 6 quarterbacks in college football. Arch people have seen because he played a little bit, but like, how much quarterback evaluations are people really doing when they're breaking down lists? I know your partner CD, he watches everything, right? You watch everything, but do you think people are really watching all these quarterbacks?
Yeah, I mean, I think to a certain extent. I think the guys the game analysts themselves, like the guys like Jordan Rogers and Cole Kubelik and Doring and those guys, they're watching film, and I think those are the guys that can look at it and go, yeah, I like these guys, I don't. I mean, Jordan Rogers posted something yesterday. I think he was on either this morning or was on Get Up, just saying, listen, I think Arch is good, but not compared to the hype that he's been getting. And so I do think that the majority of them will see some film. And then I think the other bit is that we're all guessing, right? I mean, like, I was getting hell yesterday on Channel 84 on Sirius XM, because after week 1, I'm sitting there, and I don't think it was week 1, but it was going into the season. I thought that, hey, if Connor Wegman stayed healthy, I thought that he had an opportunity to have as much upside as anybody in the conference. And then, of course, the dreaded A&M quarterback injury bug continued, and the rest is history. So I think probably more so than any, and I don't know how you feel, but this is definitely how I feel, we feel more naked going into this season about what we truly know, just because there's so much roster turnover year to year.
100% agree with you. But a quarterback you know quite well is Garrett Nussmeier, and Kay Klubnik's been playing college football forever. This is a huge game, I think, for both head coaches. Not that it makes or breaks either of their seasons, but like BK's got to win that first game. And I think Dabo has stuck to his guns of the way he wants to build a program. And this team is a veteran team for Dabo. So just kind of give me your thoughts heading into that one, which, again, a lot on the line, but with this expanded playoff, it's still room to grow.
Yeah, I mean, I think I definitely lean that there's more pressure, not is the job on the line type pressure for Brian Kelly, because he's safe unless LSU goes 2-10. I mean, unless he went full Mike Norvell at Florida State, he'll be back over at in Baton Rouge next year. But LSU's lost 5 straight openers. I mean, that just can't happen. There used to be a time where LSU, after A&M used to whoop them all the days, and back in the early 90s, like if you played LSU in an opener, you're getting your butt whooped, and that has not been the case. And so, Brian Kelly's changed a lot of things in Baton Rouge, the way that they've handled their practices, the way they put more of an onus on this week one, because that's where I push back a little bit. There's a chance that these wheels, the wheels of the LSU bus can get real shaky if they go out there and they lay an egg like Florida laid an egg against Miami last year. All of a sudden, man, everybody starts wondering, oh my God, just can Brian Kelly do it? And then in 2 weeks later, you got Florida coming into town. And DJ Lagway, if he's 100% healthy, that's a dangerous game. So there's a lot of pressure on LSU. The difference is this year, though, LSU has a defense. I mean, this will be the best defense that LSU has had, at least on paper, since probably like 2017, 2018. I mean, even better, their defense wasn't great in 2019, but it was a good speed bump for that historic offense. But they haven't had a true LSU defense like this. I mean, hell, maybe even 10 years.
Talking to Peter Burns here on TexAgs Live. Peter, when we talk about this Ohio State-Texas game, one angle that I didn't really think about, I think it was Billy who brought it up on the show on Monday, was the fact that, Ohio State not only lost a lot of players, they lost major coordinators too. How much does that play a factor in Texas going to the shoe and having this matchup where there are a lot of questions on the rosters, but I think Texas at least brings back a big part of their defense?
Billy must be copying my notes. I mean, because I tweeted that earlier this week about I think both rosters are elite, right? I mean, if you look at the recruiting rankings, Ohio State's always going to have a deep roster. Texas, over the last couple of years, has a deep roster. Both head coaches are solid. They've been there before. But the fact that Jim Knowles goes from Ohio State over to Penn State, that's a big change because you're bringing in Matt Patricia, who's never coached on a coordinator level or even assistant coach on a collegiate level. I mean, of course, he was there in the NFL for a long time, but how much can you adapt that right off the jump? And then on the other side, you got Brian Hartline, who's never called plays ever before, and a quarterback who's never started a game. So, I mean, if you're going to tell me that everything is equal and I look for small little incremental things that change this game, it's going to be coordinators and the consistency that Texas has had. And then B, yeah, maybe Arch is not worthy of all the hype that's been bestowed upon him. That's not Arch's fault, but at least he started a couple of games. He's been in that offense for 3 years with Sark. They know what they want to run, as opposed to saying, Julian coming in and having to learn a new offense. And how much is Ryan Day going to be involved in that offense versus Hartline? Like, I've talked to first-time offensive coordinators. It's hard as hell to call plays and to do it in a good rhythm. So to think that they hit the ground running is shocking. I don't know who wins that LSU Clemson game. I'm very confident in Texas going up to the Horseshoe and coming away with the victory on Saturday.
PB, I don't think I've talked to you since SEC Media Days, but I'm fairly sure you went to the Big Ten Media Days in Vegas. How was that? How did that compare to what we're used to in the SEC?
I mean, it was like going to an accounting convention. I mean, it was so weird. I mean, you know how it is, man. There's a buzz around the SEC when people walk through the building. Certain players, certain coaches, the fans are there. There's a lot of media and in everything. Again, it felt like a little bit of an accounting or banking convention. That's why I wanted to go out there. It was in Vegas. I was like, you know what? I can't keep dunking on the Big Ten and not experience it a little bit more. And I went out there and I realized that there's probably out of 18 teams that they have, there's probably 7 or 8 of those teams that truly care about football and they live, breathe, and eat, sleep, die about college football. And the other 10 teams are like, yeah, we got a good football team, but we like basketball, or football is okay, it's great. It's not, but I mean, it's in the lifeblood of the SEC is every one of the schools, especially even now Vanderbilt. There's 16 teams that give a damn, that like the whole football season is booked around what their favorite team is doing. And I think that's the reason why that, the Big Ten has some great brands to it, but there's really only 2 or 3 teams that are pulling the weight, and the rest of it is a bunch of kind of schedule filler.
Burns, I appreciate you, sir. We'll talk to you next week.
Can't wait for it.
Later, man. Peter Burns there on the Buppy's Catering Hotline. And also, he wants a Robert Earl Keen song every time, right? We need to have that coming back. So, Carson, make a note there for the crew when Peter Burns comes on with us. Milliken Reserve Time, farm-to-table community in College Station. Homes, trails, farms, wide open spaces with a mission to build a healthy community around nature. They're committed to treading lightly on the land that you can find Milliken Reserve on. They've created a sanctuary for family and for community. When you go there, you're going to love their extensive network of trails throughout that wooded landscape that has walking paths, equestrian paths, you name it, the creeks, the ponds, the gathering areas. When you go there, all the animals you can imagine are there. White-tailed deer, the songbirds, the rabbits, the turtles. And it provides a natural setting for people to connect. When you go there, go hiking. You don't even have to live there. You just go hike. Go biking. You can go canoeing, kayaking, equestrian trails. They have evening yoga, summer camps, you name it. Milliken Reserve is a great place just to hang out and be together. Check out the website, millikenreserve.com. That is millikenreserve.com. And we are back. TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. Time for Around the SEC, brought to you by the Jaxer Group. We go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center as Nick points at me, and we check in with Luke Evangelos.
Hello, David. I'm back.
Unfortunately. Or for I like you. You're actually good.
Thank
so
you.
What do you have for us on Around the SEC?
Yeah, we're going to go around the SEC and look at Josh Pate's record predictions for every team in the SEC.
Actually, I've seen this about 2 days ago. Let me see if I get them right. Just throw me a couple names. And I'll tell you.
A&M.
9-3.
Georgia.
9-3.
Auburn.
8-4.
7-5. Florida.
9-3.
Yep. Texas.
9-3.
10-2.
Oh, I'm calling you.
Alabama.
11-1.
10-2.
Okay, I was close.
South Carolina.
Ooh, 8-4.
Yep. Oklahoma.
8-4.
Yep.
Good at this game.
LSU.
8-4.
Tennessee.
Was that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Tennessee. 8-4.
Mississippi State.
5-7.
4-8. You were on a roll there. Kentucky.
Kentucky. Let's go 6-6.
4-8.
Okay, I suck at this game now.
Ole Miss.
Sorry. John's gonna be mad. Ole Miss. 9-3.
8-4. Vanderbilt.
7-5.
6-6.
Okay, I was really good for the middle.
Missouri.
He's got to have him at 9-3.
8-4.
Oh, okay.
And finally, Arkansas.
I have them at 5-7. He's got them better. He's got them at 6-6.
5-7.
Oh, see, Josh is smart.
You're on the same page.
Huh. I guessed of the 16, I was probably right 7, 8 times.
Maybe like
4.
Nick, can you put the camera on me? Maybe like 6, 7 times.
There's another one that people are doing now.
41.
See, you didn't think I knew that.
You're hip with the times.
I'm hip with the times. I didn't know a week ago. I did in front of my wife. She's like, "What are you doing?"
What are my
and then my
kids
sons were like,
funny?
"It's not cool anymore, Dad. It's
41.
41. Why 41?
You got to ask some of the interns around here. They're better knowledgeable with that than me.
Okay.
I lost it at 6, 7. That's where I stopped keeping track because I found a meme that I think is funny and I like. I didn't even know we were doing 41, and that 41 was bigger than 6, 7.
41's for the great German.
Yeah, Dirk.
Dirk Nowitzki. Our good friend Dirk.
Our good friend Dirk.
He's at least mine. All right, that's going to do it for TexAgs Live on a Wednesday. Tomorrow on the show, I know we have Mr. McGee. We have Stephen McGee. We have Ryan Swope. We have the Fan Show. And we've got something else going on. I forget what, but I promise it's good. I never prepare for that last moment of the show. Anyway, that's going to do it for the show. We'll see you mañana.